he's able to step into this pass. And then Anderson just works underneath the zone in the intermediate area between the backers and the secondary. You can see the Sheriff comes up and just knocks him down.
Anderson with a 50-yard touchdown catch last week against the 49ers. He has stepped up a notch. 1st and 10 on the 45. Miller's pass intercepted. Dwayne Harper, who is just guilty of the illegal contact, picks it off and returns it to midfield, where Howard Griffith makes the stop. And Chargers are in good field position.
Well, you couldn't play that any better. Harper just hung to the outside, and the key for this is he's reading Miller as much as Miller is reading him the whole time. Now, he knows, watch how he plays his zone. He's playing off. He knows he gets help inside at the safety, so he can take that chance. You can see Richard coming in. As Harper saw him, he was able to take it and get the pick. And then, you know, when you're a big-time quarterback and you know you're the only one you got, you're going to take their shot on you.
He got sandwiched. That's the 3rd interception of the year by Dwayne Harper.
Like he didn't get
with first down. Natron Means, and tying him up was Marquez Pope, former Charger who was traded for a 6th-round pick.
That's a tough guy, though, that Marquez Pope. Boy, he shows up in a bad mood. He comes flying out of there. Kind of reminds me of Van McElroy, used to play for the Raiders. Marquez Pope will see it. He'll make a quick decision, and then he throws his whole self in there. He's one of those guys at 195. He has enough oomph to smack you, but he's also one of those guys who might get beat up a little bit.
Bobby Beathard didn't really want to give him up. It was a salary cap situation. 2nd down and 9. Stan Humphries in the pocket, pass incomplete. He was going for Dwayne Young. Each team has had the ball once, and there's been one turnover, and the Chargers trying to capitalize.
Well, when we watched the tapes this week, the one thing that was very evident was this was a tired Chargers team, particularly this offensive line. And they just did not come off the ball. They did not move their feet. And in the early going of this game, they've been able to get some movement, so that's a good sign for them.
But no offense in the first quarter in the last 5 games. 3rd and 9. Humphrey rolling out to his left, and he was trying to go that time to Sean Jefferson.
Pass incomplete, intended for Sean Jefferson.
And Sean Gilbert is down on the field. This would be a very tough man for the Rams to lose. He has been the heart and soul of the defensive line. But Gilbert is shaken up and will take a timeout. No score in the first quarter.
The San Diego Chargers welcome you.
How many chances do you have in your life to change the quality of life in your own community? That's one of the reasons American Express card members are continuing the Charge Against Hunger. You can go look into the eyes of people and see that they're doing better. Helped in a real way. Helped by getting a meal. Helped by getting a chance to get back on their feet.
Every time you use your American Express card, you'll help provide a meal for someone who's hungry. So help raise another $5 million, because the Charge Against Hunger is on again.
You're watching the Coors Light channel.
Welcome to the 39th annual Coors Light Bowl. The Coors Light Bowl has been brought to you by Paul's Pretzels and by Coors Light, the beer that's so good it's scary.
Coors Light, so good it's scary.
Stay tuned for the Coors Light Bowl post-game wrap-up.
The Coors Light channel, always on.
What favorite things come with a Galant ES? Automatic transmission, air conditioning, and much more. And what do you pay for all this? Just $209 a month with $1,000 down. For a limited time, a great lease on a great Galant from Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
To be an organ and tissue donor, you must tell your family now so they can carry out your decision later. Call 1-800-355-SHARE for your free brochure.
Sean Gilbert in the back walked off on his own power, being tended to, and he should return. Brian Wagner will kick. 4th down for the Chargers, and Todd Kitchen back deep for the Rams. Good high kick will give the coverage plenty of time, and a fair catch called for by Kitchen inside the 10. So the Rams, who have lost 2 in a row and have not won back-to-back games, there's a penalty marker down. And it'll be against the Chargers, and so we may have a re-kick. Chuck Knox indicating so.
Holding number 55 on the kicking team. 10-yard penalty. 4th down.
That's a costly one for Bobby Ross's Chargers because they will re-kick, and the Rams could do a lot better than getting the ball inside their 10. Junior Seau on the penalty.
Well, you may wonder why a guy like Junior Seau would be on the punt team, and I'd be wondering too because he's on the sidelines. That's a pretty rough call.
Well, Bobby Ross was upset because he said 55 is over here with me. So Brian Wagner will kick again. Here's Seau getting set to go back to work. And Wagner gets it off. Another good kick.
Man, that's a
beauty. And that one is going to sail into the end zone for the touchback.
So they gain 10 yards on the exchange of the penalty.
Brian Wagner with a booming 59-yard punt. Well, the Chargers with an 8-3 record coming in, tied for the best record in the AFC. The Miami Dolphins with a dramatic come-from-behind win over the Jets, 28-24. And the Cleveland Browns beat Houston. So right now, the Browns at 9-3 have the best record in the AFC, but the Chargers, Steelers, and the Dolphins right behind.
And a big one going on right now with Pittsburgh and the Raiders. That will certainly have something to do with that. And San Diego right now has everything in its hands. They have everything on their shoulders so they can do what they need to do.
1st down on the 20. Isaac Bruce, the impressive rookie wide receiver number 80, is in the game. Chris Miller's pass, and he's going for Bruce, and it's broken up by Harper, who intercepted a pass earlier in this quarter.
Well, I like that Harper. He's aggressive out there in the corner. And they'll try him, and he's one of those guys that can get a couple penalties on him, and he's not going to back down. He's going to keep on coming back, and he's going to keep on attacking. And I like to see this guy. I like to see a guy with great confidence on the corner because confidence is what sets apart the great corners.
2nd down and 10. Harper with his 3rd interception. Chargers couldn't take advantage. Miller again looking to throw, and his pass, and it nearly intercepted. It was trapped back there by Darren Carrington. Troy Drayton was the intended receiver, and Miller misfired.
And a nice job by Gibson, the linebacker. What he does is he runs with Drayton, and he trails him, knowing there's a safety over the top. And all you have to do is give the illusion to Miller that you're right on him by being under him, and the pass has to go high. And that's exactly what happened.
Miller so far 1 for 4 for 23 yards and interception. So an inauspicious start here for Chris Miller.
Is that good or bad? Inauspicious?
Not too good.
Not good? Okay.
I think you figured that. 3rd down and 10. Out of the shotgun. Swings it out, and the pass to Johnny Bailey. Bailey, who has not played the last 2 games with an abdominal strain, picks up 8 yards. Junior Seau making the tackle, and the Rams will have to kick.
And what the San Diego Chargers have done early is turn the Rams into a one-dimensional team. That's not a good sign for the Rams.
Sean Landetta will kick it away for the Rams, and Darian Gordon goes back deep for San Diego.
Deep for the Chargers.
Dropped at the 44-yard line. That was Toby Wright for the Rams. And another flag is down, well down around the 30-yard line.
What a gutsy move by Gordon. The man downfield for the San Diego Chargers. I think they'll decline that penalty because they have pretty good field position.
And Bobby Ross is doing exactly that.
An eligible man downfield on the kick, number 58. That penalty is declined. First down. Timeout.
So a timeout. Chuck Knox's Rams against Bobby Ross's Chargers.
What is this? This is totally cool. Whoa, man, you gotta check this out. Look at this thing. It's like an eclipse or something going on here. Wouldn't it be cool, like, if like, right now, there was this total eclipse? Oh, it's TV. Oh, there it is. Check that out.
Introducing the all-new 1995 Eclipse from Mitsubishi. The new thinking in automobiles.
Are you all right, man?
Before he was vice president of the United States, he revolutionized farming. Through genetics, his company developed a breakthrough in hybrid corn seed, and yield has been rising ever since. Today, Pioneer Hybrid is the world leader, and its seeds are growing food where food has never been grown. Where do you find companies sowing the seeds of growth for generations to come? Actually, there's a list of them printed every day. NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years.
It's time for the McDonald's Holiday Film Fest, featuring great movies like Field of Dreams,
If You Build It,
Back to the Future, The Land Before Time, and 5-0 Goes West, each just $5.99 with the purchase of any large sandwich or extra value meal. And each video includes a mail-in rebate offer for Jurassic Park, available at video outlets nationwide. So enjoy this special time of goodwill toward men and cats.
School bus safety starts before the bus ever stops, so be cool. Follow the rules.
No scores. Sean Gilbert back in the Rams defensive line. And the Chargers have had the edge in starting field position in this early game. They're started from their own 45, and that's where they are now. First down.
4 in. See it.
Play fake and a rollout. And a deep throw for Humphreys, going for Tony Martin, who drops the ball. He was there, had beaten Todd Light, but couldn't hold on.
Well, that was the big play that they were looking for early. And they went with the misdirection. And as he rolled to his right, nobody in the center of the field. Watch how he rolls back outside. He's going to look downfield, and I want you to look to the center. There's nobody there. Only the referee, and this one should be 6.
You get all over the line. Stop loose!
Big opportunity goes by the boards for the San Diego Chargers, who now have called a timeout with 7:56 remaining in the first quarter. One big chance down the drain for the Chargers.
Hager presents New Stuff in the NFL. Mike Tomczak's career-high 343 yards passing helped the Pittsburgh Steelers reel in the Miami Dolphins.
Where is it written that men should always get the back-breaking, sweaty jobs? Is it stamped into a man's genetic code that he will paint houses, fix carburetors, and move furniture? Maybe a guy would rather just stay home and iron pants. Yeah, right. 100% cotton shirts and pants that are wrinkle-free. Hager, stuff you can wear.
Starting for the injured Neil O'Donnell, Mike Tomczak led Pittsburgh to their first touchdown in the month of November. And outdueling Dan Marino and the Dolphins, Tomczak revitalized the Iron City offense, moving the Steelers into first place in the AFC Central.
What favorite things come with a Galant ES? Automatic transmission, air conditioning, and much more. And what do you pay for all this? Just $209 a month with $1,000 down. For a limited time, a great lease on a great Galant from Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
Alcohol and other drugs don't discriminate. the Equal Opportunity Destroyer.
Watch the tight end drag across. He comes open. The safety will bite, which will open the center of the field. And then it's just a matter of Martin outrunning Light right there to the post. Wide open. The ball's right where it has to be, but the catch isn't made.
Want to hear about another inauspicious start? Humphreys is 1 for 6 for only 4 yards. But that one should have been caught. You're right. 2nd down and 10. And the give is to Natron Means off the right side. And Means gets to the 50. Henley on the tackle. Right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown, not far away in our Hollywood studio.
Dick, Tampa Bay was looking to break a 6-game losing streak. That is now on hold because Warren Moon, with under 2 to play, finds Kadri Ismail 40-yard strike to pay dirt. That brought him within 2, and then they tie it up as he finds Chris Carter, all tied at 17. We're now in overtime. Back to San Diego, Dick and Matt.
Unbelievable. JB, I'll tell you, the Vikings really struggling, but that's a big score for them. 3rd down and 5, and the pass intended for Sean Jefferson overthrown. And once again, the Chargers will have to kick. Robert Bailey was the defender that time.
You know what I think just happened there? I think they just got punched in the stomach when they dropped that big play. It looks like Humphreys was disgusted. Now, there's so many things. Watch Harmon 33. They're trying to get him out and hid so that defense can't find him. So what they're doing is they're coming to the line of scrimmage with the line already set, and then they break from there.
Ryan Wagner with a beauty the last time. This is a shorter kick, and Kitchen on the run. Muffs it, and a loose ball.
Looked like Bush had a shot at it.
And the Chargers recover. And the big turnover will give the Chargers great field position.
That was Big Louis Bush who got down there first. Kinchin tried to make a big play. See, this is what happens in teams. What they try to do is they start to press. And when they start to press, they try to make big things happen. And inevitably, mistakes like this happen.
That is the 2nd turnover of the game. Kinchin, obviously distraught, muffed the punt return, and a 1st down on the 24 of the Rams. Means up the middle. Means is trying to get on track. Last week picked up only 59 yards. Has not had a 100-yard game lately. Has 9 on that play, with Joe Kelly making the tackle, yet Means is over the 1,000 mark coming into this game.
Well, you know, Natron, I mean, a lot has been talked about. He's a big guy, 235, but he has kind of little guy feet. All of his weight is from his waist up. From his legs down, he looks like a receiver. From his waist up, he looks like a tackle.
2nd down and 1. He's big. And Means gets the call, and he's hit hard. Close to the 1st down by Robert Young.
Nice job inside by Malinchik, taking Jimmy Jones and where he wants to go.
And it is a 1st down for the Chargers.
Watch right here, Malinchik. He's going to be working on Jones. Jones will work upfield, and this is a nice adjustment. You see how Jones has his momentum going up the field. All Malinchik does is just use that momentum against him, and he'll take himself right out of the play.
There's Malinchik, the veteran. Banged up as the middle of the offensive line has been. Chargers have not been successful in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's a rollout on the fake. Humphreys going into the end zone, and it's incomplete. Intended for Jefferson.
You know, I look at this Ram defense, and the one guy who really stands out to you, obviously, is Sean Gilbert. And when you have a dominant player like that, I think a couple things you have to do with him, especially with the abilities that he has. He's a big man at 310 pounds, and he has great movement. But I think the Rams make a mistake by keeping him in the same position all the time. I think he's one of those guys like Reggie White where you got to start finding the weak link on that offensive line and then just start moving them all around because he can play tackle and end, and you have to exploit his strengths.
Has only 2 sacks coming into the game. 2nd and 10 on the draw play. Penalty flag down. Natron Means will go into the end zone.
That's coming back.
And that'll be a holding penalty. That was the umpire who dropped the flag, and it's holding against the Chargers will nullify this touchdown.
Well, they're running right at the strength of the Charger offensive line.
Holding,
Courtney Hall.
Number 53, offense.
And that's who they
10
got.
yards, 2nd down.
Well, I mean, there's holds, and then there's holds like bear hugs. Now I want you to watch Courtney Hall. He's working on Jones. And that is called a hug. That is, I love you.
Not a loving hug, I would add.
That thing right there. I mean, he didn't even try to hide that at all. He just wrestled him.
Courtney Hall with a sprained knee. Two-time Pro Bowl selection.
Yeah, he's dragging that thing, too. I watched him in practice this week, and he needs the oil can. That thing right now, that knee is not working real well for him.
Eric Bieniemy in at running back. Ronnie Harmon, the all-purpose back on 2nd and 20. Stan Humphries is going to go down, and he is sacked there by Jimmy Jones. And that is the first sack of the game.
Jones has been playing pretty well for this Ram group as of late. Finally gotten settled into this scheme. And then most of the time, all he does is just blow right upfield. And I can see he gets to Malinchik's corner, and then all he does is he passes right by him. He goes with that arm over. And a good pass rusher inside will always work half the man. And that's exactly what Jimmy Jones did.
His 4th sack of the year and a loss of 11 yards. Aaron Lang has been at tight end. Dwayne Young has been on the sideline. 3rd and 31 now. 6 defensive backs, and Humphries trying to get away, goes down again, and Sean Gilbert gets credit for his 3rd sack of the year. And a loss of 7 will knock the Chargers out of field goal range.
Well, what Bobby Ross said is we need some better work out of our guards. And this time, it's Kukuzo. And Gilbert does the same move to the other side. He just works to that top shoulder, and once you get a half a body on that top shoulder, you're beat. I don't care who you are.
Chargers were in field goal range, and now they have to kick it away. Brian Wagner will punt. Todd Kinchin, who muffed the last punt and turned it over back deep. He's got to be breathing a lot easier now. Fair catch called for by Kinchin, and this time he holds on to it at about the 17-yard line.
Called by Todd Kinchin.
She left home in search of a dream. She played by her own set of rules because she knew one day she'd become the most famous woman on earth. You know who she is. Now see who she was before she became Madonna. Innocence Lost, the world premiere movie, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central. Got everything.
So anyway, back at the football game.
It's 1st and 10, Matt. Rams will start from the 15. So the Chargers haven't been able to take advantage of 2 Ram turnovers so far. Miller to throw, gets time and completes it to Troy Drayton, the tight end. And the Rams have a first down beyond the 30 with Carrington, the strong safety, defending. A pickup of 17.
Troy Drayton is a man that Chris Miller really wants to get involved.
Bring it back.
Yeah, I see there's a flag.
Number 70, offense.
Wayne Gaby, the rookie right tackle, nullifies a big first down for the Rams.
Well, they're going back and forth with this, but the guy that Miller would like to find more of is that Troy Drayton. Kid out of Penn State in the 2nd year. He got bigger. His blocking skills has improved. But what they'd like to see him do is start to get more involved in the passing game in his head. They want him to start learning how to run pass patterns, not just run out there and try to get open. You have to work a man, work a half a man. That's the part of this game he hasn't mastered yet.
That would give the Rams another dimension as a receiver if that happens. 1st and 17 following the penalty. Here's Bettis looking for running room, and Darian Gordon on the play, and a gain of 5.
Brought down by Darian.
Yeah, one of the things that Bettis does well is run outside, and he's a big man, so you forget that he can get outside. But what teams have started to do to the Rams is, by position, keep a man wide so they can't get there and force him to run back inside. And the inside 3 of the Ram offensive line has not been blocking very well.
Darren Carrington limped off the field. Lonnie Young replaces him at strong safety. 2nd and 12. Miller inside his 5. Passes to Drayton. Drayton gets by Seau and is out of bounds, and quite a shot put on by Lonnie Young that time.
Oh, high pocket, that Lonnie Young. Watch Troy Drayton at the end. This is stuff that isn't taught. This is stuff that's just instinctive. He comes down and he's going to put his shoulder in. Now, there's one spin, and you see that commonly, but not two in a row. And then the arm down, and then Young comes over and gives him the whack.
Drayton gets a breather. Extra backs for the Chargers, including Willie Clark, the rookie from Notre Dame. 3rd down and 7. 4 wide receivers out of the shotgun. Pressure. Leslie O'Neal. And Miller escapes it, and the pass is incomplete. Kinchin was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, Jones just turned O'Neal clean. And a nice job by Miller. Watch Jones. He's going to go back outside, and he's going to come right in. But this is surprising because watch the speed of Miller. Remember, he got the bad wheels. Now he's able to get outside to buy some time. And that's something Miller has not been able to do in a long time. When he came into the league, he had that kind of speed, but he hasn't shown it since.
So Sean Landeta will kick. He's inside his 5, and Darian Gordon back deep for the Chargers. Under 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Good high kick, but a returnable for Gordon. Hit once and down. Griffith made the first hit, and then Bradley finished it off for the Rams. So good coverage by the Rams special teams prevents the Chargers from getting better field position. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience.
You're kidding.
I mean it. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without that, and I take this seriously, the express written consent of the San Diego Chargers and the National Football League is, as you know, prohibited.
And I would have to agree.
Carrington's right ankle being worked on. 1st and 10 on the 38 for the Chargers. No score. Eric Bieniemy picks up about 3.
You see big Stan Brock pulling over there from that right tackle, coming around in his 15th year. You know, most of the time when they run this kind of play, they don't ask those guys, much less the 15-year guys, to come around. But Stan Brock is such a well-conditioned guy and a big man. That 295 is a lie. He's about 310. Still runs, trains real hard, and he loves to play.
I believe what I read. Total yards, the Chargers have only 5. Rams don't have much more. And again, it's Eric Bieniemy for a short gain, and Sean Gilbert right there to make the tackle will bring up 3rd and about 6.
Number 90, Sean Gilbert.
Stan Brock, who's been a fixture for the New Orleans Saints and a player I know, Matt, you have analyzed and known for quite a while.
Yeah, and I've always liked the guy. And there's a couple of reasons, but the first one is the main reason. Now, he's a smart, tough guy, and he's in great condition. Trains all the time, running, lifting, all that. He's got great bloodlines. Brother Pete played in New England. His other brother's in Kansas City. But the guy's in search of a roomier cockpit. At 6'7" and 310 pounds, he has his own private plane. And I think he probably should be flying one of those 747s. Not one of those Cessnas.
Well, before the game, we have some skydivers land on the field here. Pretty colorful beginning to the festivities here. Sellout crowd here at Jack Murphy Stadium. One of the Rams is shaken up, and it's Jimmy Jones, who has one of the 2 sacks for Los Angeles thus far.
Jimmy Jones that they brought over from Dallas this year. 276. Again, that's a little on the light side. But what he's brought to them is another guy to complement Gilbert. And he's tough up the field. And it took him a while to get settled into the scheme, but he looks more and more comfortable. He looks more comfortable from the middle of the season on. And I think they like what they have in him.
Ted mentioned that Dwayne Young was out of action. He has a groin injury and will not be back for the Chargers today. Carrington will. He has an injured ankle. 3rd down and 5. Chargers 0 for 3 today on 3rd down. Watch Harmon 33 out of the backfield, but the pass thrown up the middle on a crossing pattern is complete, but short of a 1st down, so they didn't make the sticks. And getting up out of that pile was Tony Martin. And a good play defensively by Marquez Hope.
And it brings up 4th down, and they're going to punt.
Crowd, of course, smattering of boos. They wanted the Chargers to go for it, which is absurd in a scoreless game with the ball in their own territory. So the wise move, Wagner to kick, and Kinchin will go back for the Rams. Winding down to a minute remaining in the first quarter. Not much offense thus far. Good booming kick that time by Wagner. Kinchin looking up on the return. Spins off a defender and is stopped at the 24-yard line by Willie Clark. Big doubleheader on Fox next week. And it all begins with the pregame show and then the Dallas Cowboys. Very impressive winners Thanksgiving Day over the Packers against the Philadelphia Eagles. And the second half will feature the 49ers against the Atlanta Falcons, all coming up next Sunday.
With that Dallas Cowboys team showing that they can win with all kinds of people. Garrett comes in, and of course they're going to see if Aikman can come back feeling better, and Emmitt Smith running the football. They really are starting to look like the team that they had promised to be all season long.
Less than a minute to play in the first quarter. 1st and 10 at the 25. Here's Jerome Bettis. Gets hit at the line, and Seau puts him down.
Boy, that was nice by Junior Seau. Yeah, this is one thing that I don't see a lot of linebackers do much anymore. Most of the guys have turned into finesse guys. They don't attack. Watch him come up and hit the fullback. And then, you know, he's strong enough to take this on and then fast enough to work off the block of Griffiths and make the play. That's a big-time play. You don't, like I said, you don't see many inside backers doing that anymore.
Seau doesn't look that big.
No, he's like 245 to 248. Tall guy, but extremely strong.
Extra defensive backs, 2nd down and 9. 4 wide receivers. Johnny Bailey on the screen pass out to the right. Gets by one Charger and dives forward, maybe shy of the 1st down, however, as Darian Gordon might have saved it on the far sidelines. A gain of 6 as time runs down, and that is the end of the first quarter. Here at Jack Murphy Stadium with the score, the Rams nothing and the Chargers nothing.
Pass your completed Pro Bowl ballot to the end of your...
This holiday season, remember to stock up on the absolute necessities. And while you're out, you might also want to pick up some food. There are over 9,000 ways to make tonight a blockbuster night.
Nice being here. Appetizers, They brought them in from Madagascar. Did they bring any more?
Look, Tetsu.
Oh, boy. I think I'm going to Wendy's.
When you're really hungry, try Wendy's Big Bacon Classic Combo. A quarter-pound of fresh beef, bacon, cheese, lots of toppings, plus biggie fries and a 20-ounce drink.
Now, that's a delicious meal.
Just in time for dessert.
Entertainable. Who's got room for dessert?
right, Obi. Try Wendy's Big Bacon Classic Combo.
Watch Reuben Davis. He's going to work outside on Tom Newberry. And Newberry will get beat, but like all good old linemen, he'll make sure he cuts him. And when he cuts him, he catches that right knee going down.
Reuben Davis had to be helped off the field. He's replaced by Reggie White, number 90. There is Davis. Jimmy Jones of the Rams has a twisted right ankle, and hopefully he'll be back. So we've had a big injury list thus far. Start of the second quarter, no score. 3rd down and 2 for the Rams. Miller's pass, and he might have had his arm hit.
Yeah, I think Mims got him.
Yeah, Chris Mims came in and deflected that ball.
And Mims worked that left side, and he comes around, and you're going to watch him right here, and he's going to beat Gandy to the top side. He worked the arm under, and then he has the presence to dip, and right there. See that? It also looked like I got tipped right here.
2 tips for the price of 1.
I'll give you 2 tips.
For the first time. Only kidding. Sean Landeta will be kicking, and Darian Gordon deep for the Chargers. First punt return 13 yards. A beauty off the foot of Landeta. Gordon doesn't get much. And again, good coverage by the Rams, led by Chris Martin.
Tackle number 53, Chris Martin.
Just underway early in the second quarter.
Life is a series of roadways, and if you want to get anywhere, you've got to get off that bench and play, move into that merging lane. So you check your mirror, but an 18-wheeler with 30 tons of persuasion is saying, "Oh no, sister, you're not coming in here." Should you go? Stay? You point your big toe to the floor. You go. 275 horses and a 32-valve V8 respond, "I am engine, hear me roar."
100% cotton, wrinkle-free Dockers. Pants so soft, they shrug off wrinkles.
There has never been a better time to buy. Those loud announcers on TV. Are they born with those voices? Like any household pest, the most you can hope for is to control them. So Magnavox makes televisions with the exclusive Smart Sound feature, which keeps loud announcers from being so loud. Hey, we make technology people want. Magnavox. Smart. Very smart.
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, where safety, reliability, performance, and value are never optional. By Aflac, ensuring over 38 million people worldwide. By Heineken, the #1 imported beer. Heineken, just being the best is enough. And by the Citizen Watch Company. Citizen is how the world tells time.
Dick Stockton and Matt Millen here at Jack Murphy Stadium. Both quarterbacks struggling. The defenses have held force here in this first half. First down on the 27-yard line for the Chargers. Play fake and Humphreys with plenty of time. Pass complete to Jefferson, out of bounds and a first down. Light was defending and gave him a lot of margin and space inside.
You know, that's that deep comeback, which means you have to have time up front to throw. And when you have time here, it's because you take care of Gilbert. Now watch Courtney Hall. He gets the good old... he grabs him up around the neck, then he just throws him down.
Rams have brought in DeMarco Farr and Gerald Robinson. They've replaced Young and Jones up front on the defensive line. 1st and 10, and the pass tipped and intercepted. Todd Light returns for the Rams. And the first turnover by the Chargers will give the Rams the ball in Charger territory.
That's one that Sean Jefferson should have caught, was right in his arm. That was a nice thrown ball. Nicely thrown ball by Humphreys. Watch him be working in the zone, and he just sets down in front of Light and watch the ball right through his hands. And I know it's a little bit away from his body, but in this league, those catches have to be made.
For Todd Light, that is going to be his first interception of the year, and the Rams have already more interceptions this year than they did all of last year. This was their 12th. First down, Rams on the Charger 40. Less than a minute gone by in the second quarter. Still no score. Play fake. Miller being chased by Leslie O'Neal, going deep. Touchdown, Jesse Hester. And Hester has now caught a pass in the 74th consecutive game, 40 yards.
Well, Jesse the Jet just got down there. No help in the middle. Gordon right on. And I'll tell you, when Jesse Hester is on his game with his speed, you can watch inside. Everybody sucks up. The safety stays in. Hester just runs right by. See, they went with that play action to hold everybody, and it worked because they bit. And then Hester was able to get to the post.
Tony Zendejas with Tommy Maddox, who's the backup quarterback today for the Rams, with Chris Chandler down. The kick is good. And the Rams lead 7-0. Jesse Hester with his second touchdown catch of the year. He caught one last week against the Patriots. Gives the Rams a 7-0 lead.
The big city in your snazzy new Mercedes-Benz. What a surprise. Mr. Cabby forgot the signal. Good thing your side windows are made not to fog up. And here's the boys from Nikki's Pizza. With close ratio steering, you won't get pepperoni on your hood. Oops, was that a pothole? From where you're sitting, one never knows. Yes, the big city. If you can make it here, you can, well, you know the rest.
Next week is my 5th wedding anniversary. Unbelievable how time flies.
Did you get her a present yet?
Yeah, I'm getting her a really nice washer and dryer.
Oh, come on. She'll never forgive you. You got to get her something for her.
It is for her.
No blinds and bikinis.
Get her jewelry.
No sales pitch from the chairman.
Or vacation.
None of that is what made Heineken the #1 imported beer in America.
You think I should take her someplace special?
Definitely.
So maybe I'll take her to Cooperstown.
No.
Today, 19,000 people will start their day at sunrise. Thousands of fathers will hold their child for the first time. And millions of people will keep track of their time with a Citizen Watch. In Paris, it's a Citizen Elegance. In the South Pacific, a Citizen ProMaster. But from Nepal to New York, more people depend on a watch made by Citizen than any other timepiece. Citizen watches how the world tells time.
School bus safety starts before the bus ever stops. So be cool. Follow the rules.
Rams take the lead 7-0, taking advantage of the light interception of Stan Humphries. So there have been 3 turnovers, and the Rams have taken advantage. Zendejas will kick off.
Yeah, what the Rams really took advantage of was the speed and reactions of the San Diego defense.
That was something they thought they could take advantage of. Andre Coleman is back deep for the Chargers, and Coleman on the 16 could get a good return here. He lost his footing and is down at the 37.
You're going to watch to see when I talked about taking advantage of their reaction. Now, they're going to go with the play action. I want you to watch these people right here, the backers. And they are going to bite hard on the play action. And because they bite hard, that frees this guy right up, right inside. And then Carrington, the safety, will bite on the open man. And that opens the hole right up. See this? Nobody there. Hester runs through the post to beat Gordon. And that's easy.
Rams have gotten one of their injured players back, Jimmy Jones, who was out with a twisted ankle. Now back up front for L.A. First down on the 37. Datron Means, who came into the game second in rushing in the AFC behind Chris Warren of Seattle, picks up 4.
We got some hitting going on down there out of Mitchell and the H-back. Just ran into Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly just showed up and whacked him. And what he did was he forced everything to go back inside. Now, this Ram linebacking core, they do a pretty good job of reading and attacking. In fact, as a group, I think one of the best groups at doing that.
Second down and 6 on the 41. And a day of shockers in the NFC. Humphries' pass is caught by Mark Say. That's his first reception of the game, and it's enough for a first down in midfield.
And again, that deep comeback, which means time to throw the football. So the offensive line doing their job when it comes to the pass game. Watch big Stan Brock up there, just powering young. And then that allows Humphries to step in. Remember, quarterbacking, half of it is your feet. And when you can step in and make that throw out there, Shea comes down with the catch. That's big.
Means with a head of steam.
That's it.
He doesn't get much. He hasn't gotten unleashed yet. And Joe Kelly is there. And you mentioned the great linebacking by the Rams against the run and a pickup of 4 yards. Means so far in this game has gained 39 yards on 8 carries.
Well, and part of that is the inside guys of the San Diego Chargers. They're just not getting any movement up front. And I can't tell if this is good defense or just poor offense today.
Well, they're not healthy. They weren't coming in. Second and 6. Means is shy of the first down by about a yard. Marquez Pope making the tackle. Again, tell you about Kakuzo, Courtney Hall, and Milinchik, the center of the offensive line, playing despite injuries today.
Yeah, and like I said, I mentioned earlier, I watched him out in practice, and the only guy who was walking without a limp was Kakuzo. Everybody else looked like they were the Tin Man, and they needed that oil can. I mean, they were just limping all over the place.
No cowardly lion, I guess, in practice.
No, we don't have any of that.
Third down and 2. Tron Means, and a great tackle is made by Shane Conlon, but Means will have enough for a first down.
Did you see Shane Conlon come blowing up there?
And Gilbert slow getting up.
Yeah, that's another one of those shoulder deals, but watch Shane Conlon. Shane Conlon reads this early, and he's going to attack right inside. And then he just shows up, and what a great collision. This is great anticipation. Look at this. Boom, right in the head, and then is able to come off and make the tackle.
Gilbert's all right, stays in the game. Conlon made a big play. First down on the 39. Well, not that big. They got the first down anyway. Play fake and plenty of time. Going deep and wide open and unable to hold on is Martin, and that's the second pass that Tony Martin has dropped. That would have been 6.
Stan Humphrey should take the brace off his elbow and go beat that wide receiver.
A penalty flag down inside the 30-yard line.
Tony Martin comes in the Z short motion, and then he's down the field, and again, nobody in the hole.
Contact.
Yeah, you saw it right there.
Number 22, defense.
Chargers are going to get a first down.
Automatic first down.
Marquez Pope, illegal contact, will give the Chargers a first down, though they didn't get the score.
Yeah, they don't care about the first down. That should have been 6. That's the second big play that Martin has dropped. And you saw Marquez Pope come up and hit him at about 15 because he bit. And he had to get the jam in order to slow Martin down. Martin never slowed down, but he did drop the ball.
Well, they're not going to go back to him that fast because he came out of the game. First down on the 34. He'll have to wait his turn. Means, tell you, the Rams are all over him. Shane Conlon with a 1-yard gain, with Conlon again making a fine play on the big running back from the Chargers.
Yeah, I think that Shane Conlon's playing as well as I have seen him in the last 3 years. Remember, he started off in Buffalo, and he went to the Pro Bowl a few times, and really was playing well in that scheme. Then he got banged up, and with the knees, and he kind of slowed down. But I think he's healthy right now, and I think he is playing extremely well inside.
And could be a Ram Pro Bowl candidate. They haven't had one since Green back in '89. Second and 9, Ronnie Harmon in the game. And he is the recipient of the pass and hit immediately by Roman Pfeiffer after a short gain of 5.
This is one player that the Chargers really need to get involved, because every time he gets his hands on the ball, it makes something happen. And I know that's a cliche, but this guy does it. Now this time, see, he's a smart guy. He'll watch the zone, and he'll let it develop and then come back underneath. Makes the catch, and they'll set up 3rd and 4 or so.
Ronnie Harmon, one of the best offensive backs on 3rd down. Crowd booed Tony Martin, who came into the game on 3rd and 4. We'll see whether Humphries goes his way. Roll out and the toss to Say, diving for first down yardage, appears to be short.
They're going to have to go for that at this point in the game.
Robert Bailey defending, so good defense on underneath plays by the Rams.
Yeah, and they are going to go for it, and I like this decision. This is an offense right now that needs confidence, it needs a boost, needs something to happen, and on 4th and 1.5, they're going to give it to him.
Bobby Ross's Chargers 8-3 after starting the year 6-0. Very impressive, 5 for 8 on 4th down conversions. They need 2 yards. And the Rams are going to call a timeout now that they saw what the Chargers were going to line up with, and that is the first timeout of this half by Los Angeles.
This is L.A.
We have tons of friends.
This is Tosh. This is my wife. This is my neighbor. This is my son-in-law. This is my very good neighbor. This is my number 2 daughter. Hi. This is my neighbor, John.
When I found out that I needed surgery, it was kind of a shock.
Luckily, it turned out.
Aflac really helped protect our savings. Just really took the worry away.
Aflac covers the unexpected cost of getting better so you can get on with life.
Don is definitely not a dancer.
What makes the Sharp Viewcam so unique?
It's the stuff that dreams.
It's the camcorder with the big view screen.
It's the slow and steady.
The one that captures the times of your life.
It's the stuff that
and brings them back for everyone to share. Imagine, even a special moment you missed, played back instantly. With color and sound. The Sharp Viewcam.
Now get up to a $200 rebate on Sharp Viewcam. The only camcorders with a choice of big 3 and 4-inch view screens.
At my school, you can't make mistakes. I get hungry, I reach for Snickers.
Roasted peanuts, milk chocolate, caramel. Snickers satisfies.
random orbit sander delivers an exceptionally smooth performance. One of the classic series tools from Still.
Well, today's Aflac trivia question is, who holds the NFL record for most receiving yards in a game?
I remember watching that game. Give you a little hint, it was on a Monday night.
Right. And we'll give you another hint. It was somebody who's playing in this game today.
Well, thank you very much.
4th down and 2 coming up for the Chargers, who trail the Rams 7-0, 9:02 remaining in the first half.
This is big for confidence right here for the San Diego Chargers.
12, 32.
Ninth play of the drive, 3 wide receivers for San Diego. And the give is to Ronnie Harmon. He has the first down and still going.
Nice job by Joe Cucuzzo. I'm going to tell you something. If you look at your keys, there was only one place this ball could go, and that was back across the formation. And Cucuzzo came on a nice pull, and what a good block. And Forrest shows up, he knocks it right out. You know what? This is the only way the ball can go. And Cucuzzo's going to come out. Now watch him come up and hit Pope. Bing, right there. And then the other block inside on Kelly seals it off, and that allows Harmon to come through. That's a big play.
10-yard gain by Ronnie Harmon and a first down on the Rams, 17. On the delay, means that the Rams are there. Finally, it was Gilbert who made the stop. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, JB, what do you have in our Hollywood studios?
All right, Dick, in a soggy Washington, the Redskins were up 3-0. Dave Brown play action fake, bootlegs it into the end zone. That puts the Giants on top by the score of 7-6. Take you back to San Diego. Dick Stockton and Matt Miller.
All right, JB, those two teams played a thriller earlier this year at Giant Stadium with the Giants outlasting the Skins. 2nd down and 9. Play fake on the draw. The pass out to Shannon Mitchell. Mitchell is having to get the starting nod in place of Alfred Papunu, the very valuable H-back. Kelly makes the stop after a gain of 3.
Yeah, you watch Mitchell, though, and he lost his helmet, went flying right out there. You know, some guys, they'll make a catch, they get up, and they take their helmet off. Well, heck, this time Joe Kelly takes it off for him. Look at this. Look at this. Look at a little bit extra right at the end. And then sometimes you have to go check the helmet to make sure the head's not in it.
When it does, it makes for a very uncomfortable time.
It's not good.
3rd down and 6. Pressure and a safety blitz on Humphrey, who throws the ball away. And it was Marquez Pope who came in untouched on a blitz.
Boy, I'll tell you, the Rams, they're really throwing some pressure in there. Again, they go with the 8-man front, and they brought Marquez Pope, and instinctively, Humphreys knows that he has the corner. So he just turns and tries to throw it up. You see Pope come off the corner. He tries to get enough air on it so that Harmon can run underneath it. It just doesn't get it done.
So John Carney, who is 26 of 29 and is the leading scorer with 100 points coming into the game. Having a big year, will try a 31-yard field goal with Gail Gilbert holding. And Carney drills it through. So the Chargers, who came into the game as the top scoring team in the AFC, finally get on the scoreboard and trail the Rams 7-3.
Listen, this stuff that we make, it's powerful. It makes you powerful. Take it, listen, gather up your ideas, run with them. Just do something amazing. We're in your corner, and we can't wait to see what you're going to do. Listen.
Get there, get there!
Taco Bell presents The Crunch Zone.
Let's go!
Last week, defenders hit the Thanksgiving table early, carving up runners and feasting on quarterbacks. Stay tuned for the best of Week 12 in The Crunch Zone.
Do not be alarmed, but this message is extremely urgent. Because this message is about tacos. Original hard-shell tacos. Delicious Taco Bell tacos are now on sale in your area for a limited time. Starting now, Taco Bell tacos are on sale. So make your plans. Visit as many participating Taco Bell locations as possible. Don't miss out. This is most urgent.
Patriot linebacker Chris Slade treated Stan Humphries like a Turkey Day wishbone, logging 3.5 sacks.
And he is going to be hit and sacked by Chris Slade.
Chris Slade leading the way for a win in the crunch zone.
Alcohol and other drugs don't discriminate. They're equal opportunity destroyers. Don't hide behind alcohol.
Macuso limped off the field, the offensive lineman for the Chargers, after John Carney kicked a 31-yard field goal to give the Chargers their first points of the game. 7-3 to score. Carney will be kicking off. And back deep for the Rams, Todd Kinchin and David Lang. There's Kinchin. One of the things Bobby Ross said, he had hoped that Carney would be able to kick him a little deeper on the kickoff. This is down to the 6. Lang returning. Lang with a good return for the Rams. And takes a couple of defenders out to the 40-yard line. 34-yard return. Well, a couple of surprises in the NFC today, with Atlanta beating Philadelphia and the Buccaneers of Tampa Bay beating the Vikings in overtime. Minnesota loses again. Look at the scramble in the NFC right now.
And look at Minnesota and Philadelphia, man. They have really taken the dive. And Chicago in great position to be the third division winner and in control right now in their game. But Minnesota and Philadelphia, they're tough ones to figure. They're playing too good a defense to lose the games they're losing.
Bears lead the Cardinals 10-3. Cardinals, if they win, would go even at 6-6. First and 10 on the 39 on a play fake pressure. And Miller throws the ball away. Reuben Davis, who was shaken up earlier, put a good rush on Chris Miller, who wisely threw the ball out of bounds. There is Gilbert, who is warming up. Remember, Sean Humphries, playing with an elbow brace, had arthroscopic surgery on Monday to prevent his left elbow from locking up. Now, it wasn't his throwing elbow, but Matt, it has to bother you if you don't feel that good. And talking with him the other day, he said that he didn't feel that much better.
Yeah, and then you see in his other hand, he's got something wrapped on there, too. He's just getting beat up.
Second and 10. Miller knows what's that about. Jerome Bettis. Interesting how Bettis and Means both run and have their shirts out of their jerseys, and you see the wrap on Stan Humphries' right hand.
Yeah, it looks like he's something down on all his fingers. It doesn't prevent him from picking up the phone, though, and calling home. Could be he's calling for pizza. That's the pizza man right there.
Yeah.
Old Stosh, when we were in Washington, you know, most guys, most quarterbacks gain a measure of respect when they work out with the offensive lineman. Stan used to eat with them.
Hey,
I loved him.
More fun. Third down and 4. Shotgun for Miller. O'Neal storming in, and the pass is caught. Great catch by Jesse Hester. And he is ridden down by Eric Castle. But what a great catch by Hester between two defenders, and a gain of 20 for the Rams.
And what a throw by Chris Miller. And under pressure, you see they come with the blitz. And then nice job of blocking. And then look where he throws this ball. Right in between. I mean, that ball could not have been thrown better. And Jesse Hester, again, getting his speed back to the outside. Now, when Hester first came into the league with the Raiders, the #1 pick, he would run by everybody. And then he had a problem holding on to the ball. Now he's slowed down a little bit, but he's really making a catch.
He's only dropped one of the 50 thrown to him this year, and the Rams are going to call their second timeout. So a reliable receiver, Jesse Hester, who has caught a touchdown pass today, and a timeout. 7-3 to score.
At BASF, we don't make the cooler. We make it cooler. We don't make the jeans. We make them bluer. We don't make the toys. We make them tougher. We don't make the jet ski. We make it lighter. At BASF, we don't make a lot of the products you buy. We make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
Giving you time to think about our Aflac trivia question. Who holds the NFL record for most receiving yards in a game? And the answer, Willie Flipper Anderson, 336 yards on November the 26th in 1989. So it's exactly about 5 years ago. It was a Monday night, as you pointed out, Matt. Big night for Flipper.
And Flipper Anderson working with a, well, they call it a deep thigh bruise, but when I saw him in the hotel lobby today, he couldn't have a deep thigh bruise because that thigh doesn't have any deep to it. It just has to be just a bruise.
A shallow thigh bruise.
That's a shallow thigh bruise.
Flipper Anderson did not practice all week for the Rams. First down on the 35. 2 tight ends for L.A. And on a reverse, Isaac Bruce. There's a wide receiver from Memphis State who the Rams have great hopes for. He gained only 2 yards on that reverse, and Lonnie Young was there alertly.
Again, this is another one of these misdirection plays to try to take advantage of the speed and reactions of the San Diego defense. Now, this is a nice job by Mims. Mims keeps on blowing it upfield and makes Bruce cut back inside, and that allows Young to come and make the play.
Second down and 8. Chargers have had the ball twice as much as the Rams. But the Rams lead, and Miller on a middle screen. He was looking for Jerome Bettis. That'll bring up third down.
Now, Dick, I said it before, I can't tell if this is good defense or if this is just poor execution on the offense for both sides of the ball. I think both offensive lines are struggling, and when they start to struggle and they're only pass blocking decently, that means the run game's gone, and you become one-dimensional. You become one-dimensional, it's easy to defend you.
Humphrey's right pinky is badly bruised. That's the report, but you can see he has taken the wrap off his hand. So it appears he'll be back in there. Third down and 8 on the 33 of the Chargers. Safety blitz is picked up, and the pass is caught. And that may be Hester again. Jesse Hester with another big catch, and a first down for the Rams, and a gain of 21.
Well, they come with a blitz, the Chargers, and Hester just gets back in that intermediate zone because of the protection. Look at a nice job by Bettis blocking. And then the offensive line allows Miller to step up, and when you can do that, Hester can get in there. And again, a nicely thrown ball by Miller.
Stanley Richard on the tackle. So Hester, 3 catches, 81 yards, and the only touchdown of the game. First down Rams on the San Diego 12. They go to the meal ticket. So far, the big running backs, Means for the Chargers and Bettis for the Rams, have not gotten much room. Leslie O'Neal on the tackle and a short gain.
Again, I talked about it earlier. When Bettis is most effective is when he can get outside. And then, of course, that opens up the inside running game. But because they have not been able to get a push out of their inside 3, defenses play the Rams a little wider to take away and make him run back inside. And you can see with 9 yards, that's a frustrated guy.
The Rams only have 11 yards rushing as a team. Second down and 10. Miller with a pump fake and a toss up the middle. Touchdown to Drayton. Troy Drayton, the tight end. Up the middle, touchdown, and the Rams lead it 13-3.
Nicely covered by Gibson, was all over him. He just forgot to look back to the ball. And Drayton with a good job of having that body awareness. And they go with the pump. Now, look, Miller sees him right in the middle. He goes, this is good coverage right here. Watch how Gibson just forgets to turn back. See that? Had he turned his back, had he turned his head rather, and seen where the ball was, he could have made a play.
Tony Zendejas for the extra point. And it's 14-3. So Chris Miller with his second touchdown pass of the game. And for Troy Drayton, he now is tied Flipper with the most TD catches, 5.
The few, the proud, the Marines.
Rams lead the Chargers 14-3. Troy Drayton with his 5th touchdown catch of the year. And Miller, as Matt mentioned, on the mark. 8 plays, 61 yards, and used up 4 minutes and 7 seconds. So the Chargers have had the edge in ball control, but the Rams have engineered the only touchdowns thus far.
Again, the Rams have done it all through the passing game. You saw they only rushed 11 yards so far in this half, and they're one-dimensional, but Miller, with the time to throw the football, has been active.
Chargers 8-3, and as you said, coming into this game, it was all rested on the right arm of Stan Humphries. This is an offense that has faltered badly in the last 5 games.
Yeah, and remember, Humphries talked about how we had to get confidence early. He said, all we need is a big play. We get one big play, we'll be on our way. Then they had the big play, and it was dropped. They had another big play, and it was dropped, and now they're back to down 14-3.
Zendejas will kick off, and Andre Coleman deep for San Diego. End over end, and Coleman on the return. Andre Coleman has running room off the right side. And he is wrestled down by Dennis Gibson. Here's the touchdown pass again.
Now you watch Gibson, number 57, he's going to be right in here, and they're going to play right here, this combination. And Gibson breaks the rule. He looks, I look. Now, when Drayton looks for the ball, Gibson's in great position, but he never turns his back to see where, or turns his head rather, to see where the ball is. And you cannot defend a ball with your back to the ball. You have to be able to have your eyes on it, and that results in a touchdown.
Chargers start from their 38-yard line. Ronnie Harmon is in the backfield. And there's a screen pass to Harmon. He's got blockers. Ronnie Harmon brings it out close to midfield. And it'll be a first down for San Diego. Roman Pfeiffer makes the stop.
Well, did you see Gerald Robinson get on his horse, number 97? Now watch, they're going to go with the screen. Very nicely done. Now watch Gerald Robinson come from the inside. He's running stride for stride. And then he ends up getting in on the tackle. That's some good running.
Hurry up offense for San Diego, and Humphries pass, and a good catch that time by Jefferson. Sean Jefferson, and once again a no-huddle offense.
I like this move right here. And they're going to run it down to 2 minutes. But a nice job by the San Diego offense of picking it up. A little sense of urgency.
Humphries was upset. He wanted to get off another play.
How long is a minute? A minute is long enough for 19 smiles, and 3 seconds a smile, or 6 giggles and a chuckle. A minute's long enough to hug 2 grandchildren very tightly, or fall in love at first sight. And today, more people keep track of their minutes with a watch from Citizen than any other timepiece on Earth. Citizen, the most preferred watch in the world. Citizen watches how the world tells time.
Well, here's a few tips on making a more effective business presentation from JCPenney.
Open with a dramatic statement by Worthington. And make sure your materials are carefully coordinated.
Continue to hold everyone's attention with Stafford. Looks smart and well-polished.
Then throw in a few surprising statistics.
Close with Stafford and Worthington.
And you'll walk away knowing you've made an impressive presentation.
Doing it right.
How you doing? Name's Red Dog. Red Dog. Now, I see a lot of you dogs out there yipping and yapping, chasing after anything that moves. Well, you know, sometimes you ought to lay low. And even when someone's trying to yank your chain, just let it ride. Red Dog. Be your own dog. So that when something good does come your way,
Red Dog beers, bold yet smooth, easy to drink.
You can make the most of it.
Chargers offense have dipped badly in the last 3 games, especially in points. They are still the leading point-making team in the AFC, but they have dropped in just about all categories. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Eric Jonathan has replaced Joe Malinchik at right guard up front.
And, you know, Dick, remember we talked about big plays getting the team back? That's an indicator that they're an emotional team. And when you have an emotional team, you get those ups and downs all the time because it's hard to stay on an even keel. And that also means it's usually a young team.
Only 48 yards passing for Humphreys, and he obviously is bothered some by not only the pinky injury, but the left elbow as well. He's not right.
And also drop passes have bothered him too.
Maybe more than the injuries. First down, Ronnie Harmon runs into Pope.
He ran into the Pope. Did he say hello? He get a good blessing out of that.
You know what? The Pope is being pushed around.
Yeah, that's not good. Pretty soon a little white smoke comes above his head and you're history.
Chargers have 2 timeouts remaining. Second down and 6. Humphreys completes the pass to Harmon. Harmon gets by a couple of defenders. Boy, is he a hard-charging runner and may have a first down. Robert Bailey ultimately makes the tackle, and a timeout called by the Chargers.
Did you see Harmon out there in the flat? I mean, just as cool as can be. Had Marquez Pope set up one-on-one. The toughest thing in all of football is to make this tackle and also to make him miss. Watch the feet. Comes right back inside and then just runs through the arm tackle of Pope. And then watch at the end the strength. He just keeps on driving and tries to get to that first down.
Want to remind you that coming up on the Dockers halftime, James and Terry will have all the scores and highlights from around the NFL, and that's all coming up next on the Dockers halftime. Plenty of games going on. 5 besides this one of the late games right now. And apparently they're not charging the Chargers with a timeout on that last play because they had a measurement.
You know, as strange as this sounds, with the remaining games left on the Chargers schedule, and they could end up being 9-7, they actually could make the playoffs the way this thing is going right now. And think about it.
You know, the AFC is very hard. We talked to Bobby Ross. We asked him, who do you think of the strong teams in the AFC? No one could come up with anyone. They hope it's them, of course, but there's no one leading the pack.
Did I say Chargers? I meant the Rams. Yeah, the Rams actually could get in the playoffs.
First
at 9-7.
On the 30-yard line, and the pass knocked down by Robert Bailey on the pass intended for Mark Say. So the Chargers still have 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I meant the Rams.
Yeah.
The Rams really, they win their remaining games at 9-7 could get into the playoffs.
Matt, look what happened today. I mean, Philadelphia now is in the pack with Minnesota and Green Bay and Detroit, and Chicago could have the edge, but it's a small sardine can going on right now in the NFC.
Yeah, and you know, the league, like that sardine can, stinks at times.
Second down 10. Trying to go to Jefferson. And
I thought he made that catch.
Pass.
Yeah, I thought that was a catch.
Might have trapped it.
Yeah, he probably did. He didn't argue good enough. Yeah, you know, you just come up and you yell one thing. That means, you know, you're trying to get away with it. If you make a big deal out of it, it probably was a catch.
Third down coming up with 1:10. I like the way you wiggled out of that one.
What can I tell you?
Chargers only 1 for 8 on third down. Plenty of time. Going deep. Overthrown, and it looked like the receiver, Martin, stopped. Earlier, and you mentioned the missed catches, Martin had dropped 2 sure touchdown passes. That'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the safety, Lyle, was sitting right there eyeing him up. Watch Lyle right at the top of your screen, and he's going to run down inside, and the safety's going to be sitting right there. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't have made a difference because Lyle was right on top of it.
John Carney, who has accounted for the only points for the Chargers with a 31-yard field goal, will try now a 48-yarder. But before that happens, the Rams will use up their 3rd timeout of the first half. Chuck Knox, who has been, of course, with the Rams before and coached the Rams to their victory here in San Diego back in 1975. The only previous game the Rams had played against the Chargers here.
Which allows you to be sitting your seat in the event of an emergency.
Chuck Knox in his 2nd stint. And, of course, Jackie Slater, who's now healthy again on that Ram offensive line, was there when Knox was there, and then he's here again.
mentioned how the Rams could do well the rest of the way, and they could, because after this game they have New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Chicago, and Washington, and only the Bears have a winning record amongst those teams.
Yeah, and the Bears not one of those teams that's overpowering. And it's not one of those you go, uh-oh, here come the Bears, we're going to get killed. They're going to be in every one of these games. The Rams play solid enough defense and have enough big plays offensively that can be right in it.
There's Jackie. 19 years. 48-yard field goal attempt coming up now by Carney. Gail Gilbert is the holder. David Binn the snapper. Another booming kick by Carney. It's good. So John Carney is having a sensational year. It's 2 for 2 today. And the Ram lead has been cut now to 14-6 on a 48-yard field goal.
If you want to move ahead in any career, you have to know what most employers want. Like how to work with a team, how to handle responsibility, how to take on a tough job and see it through. You can learn all these things in the Army. So when you do set off on the road to success, you'll already be in the driver's seat.
Back here at Jack Murphy Stadium, the Rams lead 14-6 with 2 touchdown passes and 2 field goals by Carney with just under a minute remaining. Rams taking advantage of a turnover. The Chargers have had their chances. Twice the Rams have turned it over. San Diego couldn't take advantage, and a couple of drop passes that would have been touchdowns. Todd Kinchin is back deep, and Carney will kick for the Chargers.
They had a really quiet half out of Junior Seau. You usually expect to see him blitzing a lot and making some big plays, and I think that Chuck Knox's offense has done a good job of that misdirection stuff of keeping him out of it.
And they've been running up the middle. They haven't tried too many wide things to give Seau a chance to get out there. But Junior will be heard from before this game is over.
That's their big play guy. And it's odd that their big play man is on the inside. Most of the time, they're outside guys, outside backer, defensive end. They do have O'Neal, but Seau makes a lot of stuff inside.
Only 2 tackles thus far today. It's going to be Lang and Kinchin, and it's going to be David Lang returning for the Rams. David Lang tackled from behind, just shy of midfield. Keep in mind that the Rams do not have any timeouts remaining. Willie Clark made the stop. When Torres and Williams were growing up, they used to break the law. Now they are the law. They're the hippest cops on television, working the toughest beat in the nation. Get ready for the ride of your life. Catch New York Undercover Thursday at 9, 8 Central. .50 seconds remaining, and the Rams, without any timeouts, will try to at least get into field goal range for another shot.
Well, the way Miller's been throwing the ball and getting protection, that's very real right now.
4 wide receivers out of the shotgun. Miller with time, and his pass is caught underneath by Johnny Bailey. And the tackle by Seau, his 3rd of the game. 2nd down and 4. Miller trying to get away from O'Neal and company, and he is sacked back at the 45, knocking the Rams out of field goal range. A loss of 10, and for Leslie O'Neal, that is sack number 9.5. Third down and long. Miller out to Bailey. Johnny Bailey into Charger territory. And it was Stanley Richard who got him from behind. The clock continues to run, and the clock has run out. And that is the end of the first half with the score. The Rams 14 and the Chargers 6. Stay tuned for the Dockers halftime as Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages from your local station.
Hey, you! You fellas must be strangers around here. I better straighten you out.
Something wrong, officer?
You just happen to be violating Section 17B, Article 4. That's all that's wrong.
The safety belt law. Oh, we never wear safety belts. We're dummies.
Now, look, you happen to be talking to the law. Don't you get smart-nosed with me.
How are we going to pay for this? We're always broke.
Let's get that vehicle out of here.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
This weekend, Ford presents something so shocking, so outrageous, you thought you'd have to wait a whole year to see it. It's the Ford 95-hour sneak preview. 95 action-packed hours to get a new 95 at 2.9 APR for 4 years. An end-of-the-year clearance on next year's cars. Only the leader could have the confidence to clear out the 95s before the year begins. 2.9 on a new 95. It's the Ford sneak preview. It's this weekend.
There's no question the Lincoln Mark 8 is an extremely well-equipped luxury coupe. And even though other luxury coupes can be equipped with many of the same amenities, there's still a considerable difference. In other words, with the Mark 8, you'll feel exhilarated, not spent. Lincoln Mark 8. Drive everything else first.
Hey, I like your style.
Thanks.
So you're a Geo Prism.
And you must be the Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, that's me.
I've heard I should watch out for you.
Oh, yeah, with my standard dual airbags and other great features.
No, I have all of that and more. It's your sticker price. I heard it was a bit much.
My sticker price?
Uh-huh. You start out over $1,300 higher than I do.
Hey, Prism, do me a favor. Don't let that get around.
I think you're too late. They know what you can do for them. See the affordable Geo Prism at your Central Coast Chevrolet dealer today.
Today's game is sponsored by Cellular One.
This is the Dockers halftime. 100% cotton, wrinkle-free Dockers.
All right, and welcome to Hollywood for the Dockers halftime, along with Terry Bradshaw. I'm James Brown, and we talked during the pregame show how San Diego was looking for its confidence. Right now doesn't have it, trailing 14-6 to the Rams.
Yeah, they've had a couple of long passes dropped. They haven't been able to really run the ball. Means, you know, the last 2 weeks hasn't rushed for over 60 yards in any one of those games total. So in this game, it's just been a case where Chris Miller's been able to squeeze the football in, Jesse Hester with this big catch.
Well, speaking of Chris Miller, let's take a look at him and Jesse Hester.
This is a good move. A little play action. You notice a little roll out to the left. That gets the safety to move over and allows Hester to come in behind that safety, who should have been in this area. 40-yard touchdown reception. Rams up 7-0 over the Chargers.
And embellishing Chris Miller's numbers, 10 of 17, 148 yards, 2 touchdowns. That accounts for the 14-6 lead at the half. In Arizona, Chicago, looking for its 4th straight victory. Steve Walsh just continues to do well. Right now, Bears on top by a touchdown. Buddy Ryan is looking at the guy who doesn't look pretty, and that's Steve Walsh.
He doesn't look pretty in that uniform. Good-looking guy, though. Talk to his mama. She'll tell you that. Ryan Wetnight, nice little 2-yard catch there, touchdown, and the Bears are up 7-0.
And Jimmy Johnson was talking about Raymond Harris contributing in the first half. 10 carries, 47 yards. Right now, Chicago on top by a touch in that contest. In Washington, rain soak at RFK Stadium. The story of 2 young quarterbacks there right now. Dave Brown getting the better of Heath Schuler, 14-9. LT,
get
him on.
Stir him up. Goal line blitz, everybody inside. If you have a quarterback that can run with the football, can get outside, you will score. There's Dave Brown, bootleg in, Giants up. Schuler back, doesn't see Booty. Down the middle, Booty plays for the Giants. He's a safety. There he is. John Booty makes the interception, returns it all the way down to the 20-yard line.
And then we're going to take a look at Dave Brown finding who?
Chris Callaway, 5th-year guy out of Michigan. The Wolverine makes the catch, 34-yarder. There it is. What are you laughing at?
Booty looking beautiful on the run there, right? As we said.
Oh, that's what you're thinking of.
Well, actually, I was just laughing at Chris Callaway, but you're right there with the All right, so the Giants leading Washington 14-9. 3 field goals, the only scoring for the Washington Redskins by Chip Low-Miller. In L.A., the Raiders, what's happening here, Terry?
Say it ain't so, JB. What is this?
Who's upset?
Steelers travel all the way across the country to take a 4-point lead on the Raiders.
Isn't that something?
That's
Who's
a beautiful
upset?
thing, huh?
Who's upset?
Howie's crying over in the corner.
Howie's upset right now. Pittsburgh is leading that one.
Come back, Howie.
Oh, there he is. Pittsburgh is leading that one 7-3. Moving up to Seattle, Kansas City's Joe Montana has become one of the 5th quarterback to pass for 40,000 yards, and it is at the half now, and the Chiefs are blanking them by the score of 6-0. And in Denver, the Broncos, boy, are they doing well down the stretch right now, leading the Bengals by the score of 15-6. We'll be back with more of Howie Long crying, Terry Bradshaw busting them after this.
Where do you turn to find help for an elderly person you love? Call the Elder Care Locator at 1-800-677-1116.
...1974, 20 years ago. I was playing for the Los Angeles Rams, and I brought you one of the first NFL United Way public service spots. Over the years, my teammates joined me in bringing you the stories of children, the aged, people in need from all walks of life. Vince Ferragamo and his family introduced us to that little girl named Jenny. I never forgot Jenny. The United Way story can't be told in one spot, but we can see it in the face of a child like Jenny. And now I'd like you to meet Jenny, a beautiful young girl with all of the hope and promise we would want for our own children and any child. You made it all possible when you gave then and when you give now. Right, Jenny? Right.
United Way, reaching those who need help, touching us all.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Welcome to Hollywood Doctors Halftime, along with Terry Bradshaw. I'm James Brown. In Atlanta, the Falcons come back from behind to beat the Eagles by 7. Rough day for Randall Cunningham.
Randall Cunningham, the last 3 games, been sacked 11 times. The Atlanta Falcons in the last 2 games have had 10 sacks all day long. Cunningham was harassed, but this guy, excellent job. Craig Ironhead Hayward, touchdown run, 66 yards rushing on the day for Craig Ironhead Hayward.
Tampa Bay was trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. Warren Moon finally struck late.
Out, post route, 40-yarder, Quadre Ishmael, there it is, over there. Great catch. Minnesota down by 2, 17-15. Moon backpedals, quick slant to the left. Chris Carter gets inside the cornerback. That ties the ball game up, sends it in overtime.
Eric Gulliford made a mistake for Minnesota, didn't let a punt roll into the end zone. That gave Tampa Bay the ball. Michael Husted, 22-yarder. Tampa snaps a 6-game losing streak. In the Meadowlands today, Miami came from 18 back to win.
Marino, there it is, 28-yarder Mark Ingram. This is the winner. On a quick fade route, an underthrown ball deliberately thrown by Marino, 28-24. Miami over the Jets.
Jeff Fisher looking for his first win as the Houston coach today.
Billy Joe Tolliver, rough day, on his back, gets rid of the ball, shows that you can throw while you're lying flat on your back. Now you're going to see Brian Kitchen in the corner. Vinny Testaverde finds him. Final score, 34, Cleveland, Houston 10.
Vinny Testaverde back after 3 weeks, resting, looked good today. 15-28, 199 yards, 2 touchdowns. What's been the big difference for Vinny this year?
Vinny Testaverde's comfortable in Cleveland. He likes it in Cleveland. He's comfortable. And I think he's finally feeling health-wise. I think he feels good. And he's got a good supporting cast around him, unlike what he had in Tampa.
Okay, and that supporting cast helped Cleveland to improve to a record of 9-3. And we'll continue with Doctors Halftime back here in Hollywood after this.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
This Thanksgiving weekend, head straight to your Lincoln Mercury dealer for a special limited time offer. 2.9% financing for up to 48 months on a huge selection of cars. But for 4 days only, get 2.9% financing on the affordable, exceptionally well-equipped Mercury Tracer, the popular Mercury Sable, even the rear-wheel drive V8-powered Mercury Grand Marquis. 2.9% financing from Lincoln Mercury. Don't miss it. Ends November 28th. See your local Lincoln Mercury dealer.
This week at Hyson Johnson Ford Lincoln Mercury Jeep Eagle, the Dollar Down Sell-a-thon. Almost $8 million in new and used vehicles. $1 lets you drive home any new Lincoln or Mercury, plus get cash for your trade. Save $3,000 off the MSRP of every new 94 Mercury Sable, plus financing as low as 2.9. Drive home any Lincoln or Mercury, $1 down, plus cash for your trade. Perry Fox Hyson Johnson Ford Lincoln Mercury Jeep Eagle, just off 101 in San Luis Obispo.
Once again, it will happen. Someone will pick out a tree that's too big for the room, drop off some warm clothes, light the candle on the third night, experiment with the turkey baster, watch all 18 bowl games, and someone will sing slightly off key with all her heart. Happy holidays from Bank of America.
Hello, everybody. John Hubbard, live from Jack Weber, the volume dealer from the Valley all the way to San Jose. If you've been waiting for the perfect time to buy a brand new car or truck, this is your weekend. Jack holds nothing back. Oh, a truck or a Sentra, $79.95. Your choice, either one, $79.95. Just another giant weekend at Jack Weber Nissan. Come on in and you'll be saying it too. How do you do it, Jack?
Today's game is sponsored by Jack Weber's family of fine cars.
Back here at Jack Murphy Stadium, where the Rams lead the Chargers 14-6. And this first half highlight is brought to you by MCI Proof Positive.
Well, this is just a touchdown to Troy Drayton. And again, this is Chris Miller. And watch Chris Miller, knows where he is, puts the ball in. That's a tough throw and a nice catch by the Penn State guy, Troy Drayton.
Actually, Matt, the Chargers had the big opportunities early. Tony Martin dropped 2 touchdown passes, a couple of turnovers they couldn't capitalize, and the Rams did. And as we take a look at the halftime statistics, if you would have said that Bettis was going to gain less than 10 yards rushing in the first half and the Rams would be leading, you wouldn't believe it.
Well, that's the credit to Chris Miller and the offensive line giving him some time, because, look, it's been all 147 yards passing the ball. And on the other side, you know, we talked about being able to have a big play. They had their opportunities. They didn't get it, but they've stuck in there. I mean, they're only 8 points behind. Humphreys has been getting all kinds of pressure. He's thrown the ball 22 times. He's been blitzed almost half, been sacked twice. It's a rough day. They need to get more balance like we talked about at the start of the game.
And, of course, some receivers holding onto the ball, because Humphreys made a couple of good tosses that would have been touchdowns. Stan Humphreys, 10 of 22 for 71 yards and an interception. Miller having a very fine first half with 2 touchdowns and 157 yards. Miller making his 8th start of the year. It's been back and forth with Chris Chandler. Both have suffered injuries this year. Miller, of course, even last week against the Niners, went out with a knee injury on the first play, but came back and nearly brought the Rams home. John Carney will kick off to start the second half.
And as average as that Charger offense has been through the first half, really they're right in the middle of this game. I mean, it's only 8 points. That's just 1 score. So this thing is even right now.
Todd Kinchin and David Lang are back deep for the Rams. And it's going to be Lang again. He's returned a couple of good ones so far. Turning the corner, David Lang does it again with a fine burst of speed, still going, and winds up close to midfield. He went out of bounds, I believe, at about the 42. Sean Van Horst made the play, pushed him out of bounds.
Watch Lang take it up for Wayne Severe's special teams, and then watch the block right there by Todd Kinchin that allowed him to get around the corner. And then Lang just one of those guys who just was a hard-running guy. I mean, he just sees things. You know what I like about guys like that? They're decisive. Once they see it, they just hit it full speed.
34-yard return. Rams have passed 10 more times than they've run. And that may be one of the reasons why Bettis has only 9 yards rushing. Play fake on first down as they fake the draw. And the pass is caught by Griffith. Howard Griffith, normally in as a blocker, picks up good yardage and a first down. Maybe shy by a yard.
And Howard Griffith, he has some quicks out there in the flats. And this guy here, Jerome Bettis, is a guy you can see averaging 1.5 yards a rush today. I mean, that's pretty anemic, and it's not his fault, really. When you get a guy like Bettis, he makes a lot of the yards in his zone, but you can't do that all the time in this league, and that offensive line has not been giving him any room to run.
They gained only 42 yards in the last 2. Second down and 1. And on a reverse, Kinchin fumbles the ball. Flag is down. And Kinchin is going to be short of the first down, so that was a totally messed up play by the Rams, and we'll see what the flag is.
Well, did you see Leslie O'Neal come blowing up the side, and then Jones was trying to hold on to him, and he couldn't quite get there. And heck, Leslie O'Neal almost got there before the reverse guy got there. Watch him come blowing up the side. And then Jones is trying to block him out of there. See, and he gets inside, and then Jones knows he's in trouble and puts the hook on him.
Holding, number 72. Offense, 10 yards, second down.
Clarence Jones holding, and that will set the Rams back.
That Leslie O'Neal, he's a thinker. I spoke with him yesterday, and he's one of those guys who tries to figure everything out and has a pretty good handle on what's going on.
Second down and 11. Rams on their own 42. Pass up the middle and nearly picked off Stanley Richard with good contact. Kind of anticipated that pass to Jesse Hester, who was sitting at the 45.
Well, I got to tell you, Leslie O'Neal, watch him again. And he has Jones fits. He takes him, starts him upside, and watch him jump back inside. And I got news for you. He got away with another hold. And then on the other side, watch the ball in the air. Watch Stanley Richard breaking that thing before anybody even saw it. Richard made this move.
Third down and 11. Fake handoff to Bailey. Miller with a flag down in the backfield, goes out of bounds. Let's see if we have another holding penalty against the Rams.
I think they may get Gandy for pushing the guy in the back outside of the pocket.
And it is another Peg penalty against...
Holding, number 70, offense. That penalty is declined. Fourth down.
Gandy, the first-round pick from Auburn, having his hands full today.
Like Gandy, he's a big guy, but I got to be honest with you, as a tackle, he needs to get bigger, and he needs to be stronger. He has all the athletic moves inside, and this is the guy, Jackie Slater, who could help him. Because Slater, one of the all-time greats, and he's been teaching Gandy, and one of the things he should impart on him is that mean streak that Jackie's had for so many years.
Good guy to learn from. Sean Landetta will kick it, and Darian Gordon back deep for the Chargers. Returnable for Gordon. Turns the corner. Gordon finds an opening. He's got a blocker. Darian Gordon down the sideline. Will score. No flags. '75-yard punt return by Darian Gordon.
And a great job by Coleman at the end that was able to spring him right at the end. Now watch Gordon. He eludes the first tackler, Lang. All your great returners will do that. Now watch him back inside, and he sees Coleman. Look at Coleman looking back and forth. And then you get Landetta. You just push the kicker and allow him to go in. You can't draw it up any better than that.
And the Chargers are going to go for 2 to try to tie the game. They trail 14-12 and will go for 2 points here. Chargers are 2 for 4 this year when they have gone for the 2-point conversion.
Don't be shoving me.
Here's Ronnie Harmon, and he'll go over to tie the game.
Same thing as that big third down. Harmon just takes it again. They get more people to one side than the other, and that's another 2 points tie ball game.
Camry was a success story from the start. Acclaimed best car built in America. Its reputation for quality craftsmanship made Camry the gold standard. It ranked among the top 10 in initial quality 6 years in a row. And Camry is built in a plant in Georgetown, Kentucky, the recipient of the Gold Plant Quality Award. And now the newly styled and refined 1995 Toyota Camry continues to write the book.
How many chances do you have in your life to change the quality of life in your own community? That's one of the reasons American Express card members are continuing the Charge Against Hunger. You can go look into the eyes of people and see that they're doing better. Helped in a real way. Helped by getting a meal. Helped by getting a chance to get back on their feet.
Every time you use your American Express card, you'll help provide a meal for someone who's hungry. So help raise another $5 million, because the charge against hunger is on again.
Andre, say cheese.
Is this dull or what?
You gotta take your best shot and show 'em what you got.
Express yourself.
The Rebel X from Canon. My dandruff and itch are awful. I'll try anything. Denorex tingles. Head and Shoulders doesn't.
Both have effective dandruff medicine, but Denorex has something extra that tingles, feels fresh.
That's why I started using Denorex. No flakes, no itch.
Denorex, the serious dandruff shampoo.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. By Taco Bell, tacos, burritos, and nachos cross the border. And by Canon cameras, so advanced they're simple.
Darian Gordon with a 75-yard punt return. His second touchdown of the season that route. And the two-point conversion for Ronnie Harmon, the third two-point conversion that he's been part of, and so he has figured in all three of them. And Stan Humphries with a smile on his face as the Chargers have come back to tie up the Rams early here in the third quarter.
And that's that emotional lift that they needed. Let's see if it makes a difference for them. Again, a young team that feeds off of emotion when their highs are high. When their highs are high.
As opposed to the lows being low.
Well, thank you very much.
You're right. You said the big play. It happened on special teams. Kickoff, Todd Kinchin. 1 yard from the end zone returning. Kinchin with a flag down, way back. Kinchin still on his feet. Kinchin is going to go all the way. And Kinchin will go into the end zone, but there's a penalty marker down on back on the 20. And it may be an illegal block against the Rams.
That's a hold.
Yep. Holding. Nullify what would have been a 99-yard kickoff return. I don't think they know yet.
On the return team, number 57.
They got Homko on the hold.
Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
So instead of a 99-yard touchdown, they'll probably spot the ball at about the 10-yard line. Thomas Homko was holding.
It's only a 90-yard difference. That will drive Wayne Sevier absolutely crazy. And Wayne Sevier is one of the top special teams coach in this league. See him right there to your left, right here. And that's part of it. He understands that. In fact, on something like this, he won't get on Homko. On something inside where it could have gone either way, that's when he'll jump him, because this one just kills him.
Well, you were with him in Washington when he was the Redskins special teams coach under Joe Gibbs. And you're right, one of the best and one of the most personable coaches around as well.
Yeah, real bright guy. I really enjoyed him. The crowd starts getting into it, too. Again, another thing for the emotion to be fed off of.
They're in it in a big way now. First down on the 10. Jerome Bettis. And the Chargers have bottled him up today. No gain by Bettis. John Perella making his first NFL start, playing in place of Sean Lee. Perella, a second-round pick by Buffalo last season.
I think some credit has to go to Davis and Perella inside, because Bettis has not been able to run it all inside. And then, of course, that comes to stuffing those guards in the center in there, and that's Davis and Perella.
Second down and 10. 4 wide receivers. Inside handoff to Johnny Bailey, and the Chargers stop him.
Stanley Richard just comes flying up out of that. They're in the nickel, and Richard read it right away.
1 yard pickup. It'll be third down and long.
How about Stanley Richard? I started asking him yesterday about his nickname. He said, actually, my nickname goes back to the Hawk from Hawkins, Texas. Right. We were the Hawkins High Hawks. And I go back there every offseason.
Third down and 9. Here comes the pressure on Chris Miller. O'Neal will chase him out of bounds. Big play by the Chargers defense.
That is a coverage sack. That time, Leslie O'Neal was blocked by Jones all the way, and because of the coverage downfield, could not throw it anywhere, and O'Neal comes up with a sack.
His second sack of Chris Miller today, and now Landeta will have to kick from deep in his end zone, giving Darian Gordon another opportunity.
And at the very least, some very good field position for the Chargers.
And remember, the 99-yard kickoff return by Kinchin was nullified because of a holding penalty. And the great kick by Landeta sends Gordon back inside his 40. And he does a pretty good job as he gets the ball close to midfield. Roman Pfeiffer making the tackle, but this tenor of the game has definitely turned over to the Chargers side.
Maybe it's our rugged shift on the move four-wheel drive. Maybe it's our high-track independent suspension. Or maybe our powerful V6. Whatever the reason, 1993 was the 14th year in a row 4x4 buyers made Toyota the best-selling compact 4x4. Hey, maybe nobody wants to walk home from here. Toyota trucks, you just gotta love them.
What if he's hungry? He won't be hungry. Every other kid in the world's gonna feed him. Okay.
May your season be magical. Make it a blockbuster holiday.
Get it moving.
And the silver bullet has the taste to keep it moving. Coors Light. Naturally brewed for a taste that goes down easy. Coors Light. Keep on moving.
To be an organ and tissue donor, you must tell your family now so they can carry out your decision later. Call 1-800-355-SHARE for your free brochure.
Number 91, Leslie O'Neal, a sack and a half. He shared one with Les Miller earlier, so right now O'Neal has 10 quarterback sacks on the year, and the Chargers start out in great field position on their own 48. On the delay, Means breaks one tackle and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Pfeiffer was right there. No gain on the play. Well, next week, join Terry, Howie, and Jimmy and James for the #1 pregame show on television, and then the drive for the playoffs begin. The Cowboys riding high against the Eagles, who have lost 3 in a row, and then Atlanta victorious today over those Eagles against the 49ers. How do you figure it, Matt?
Well, I figure the Philadelphia Eagles are taking a slide because their offensive line is not playing very well right now. I think that line's getting exposed.
Humphrey on a slant pass to Mark Say, and it is caught for a short gain. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
Dick, back in Washington, the wet conditions aren't affecting Dave Brown. Fakes the pitch to Rodney Hampton, finds Mike Sherrod back of the end zone, and New York on top of Washington 21-9. That in the third. Back to San Diego. Dick Stockton and Matt Miller.
Giants trying to make it 2 in a row. They won Monday night in Houston. 3rd down and 6 for San Diego. Humphreys out of the pocket, fires. Pass is caught by Tony Martin. And that should be close to the 1st down, and it is.
Boy, he throws a good comeback ball, doesn't he? And a nice job by Martin of coming back to the ball. Watch Humphreys scrambling over here. He throws a really good comeback ball. That ball's on the run, and he throws it down and out. In fact, he may have been going underneath.
Johnny Barnes.
To Barnes.
Yeah. Martin had been embarrassed after dropping 2 sure touchdown passes earlier, but he gets a big 3rd down reception there. On the 41 of the Rams. Play fake. And the pass out in the flat to Shannon Mitchell. Mitchell is Flopped down hard.
That was a plop?
That was a plop.
Holy smoke, he got drilled.
Mitchell is shaking his right hand. Remember, he bruised his pinky earlier in the first half.
Watch Mitchell just go to lower the shoulder. He makes the one guy miss, and then Joe Kelly shows up.
That's a block.
And he just drills him.
Second and short. All three Ram linebackers have been a factor today. Natron Means, first down and more. Gets to the 25. Shane Conlon, and Means nearly broke another tackle. Pickup of 9 yards.
Yeah, that offensive line is starting to do the job, but not up inside. Now they're going to start to run outside and run the edge. And you get Kokozo out there, and they just push people. They just get those big bodies and try to create seams, and then Means, with those feet, will find the open spot.
Means has gained 57 yards in 14 carries. He gained 59 yards in 15 carries last week. First down, Mitchell or Murphy. Humphreys with the short drop. Incomplete to Marseille. Just under 8 minutes remaining. Third quarter, tied at 14.
Well, I think that offensive line, particularly the left side, Kokuzo and Swain, much better game this week than last week. I mean, last week they didn't play very well at all. Kokuzo with a couple of big blocks pulling on the corner, and then we really haven't heard much from Sean Gilbert inside, which means that he's doing a pretty good job inside.
Second down and 10. Here's the draw play. Means gets down to the 15-yard line and may have another first down. Pfeiffer on the tackle, and Natron Means is running in full gear now, and they have to separate some of the players down there. Robert Young of the Rams in there.
Well, you know, Sean Gilbert, we said he hadn't been hearing from him. Now watch Courtney Hall and Kokuzo, and they just double him. And then Jonathan just puts the clamps to get away with a big hold right there on Kelly, and that allows Natron to come blowing up inside. And I talked before about Sean Gilbert and I have him stuck at tackle. I think skill-wise, he's right there with the great ones. But you have to move this guy around to make him more effective. You can't just keep him at one spot. I'd move him at end. I'd put him over your weakest guy and let him exploit it.
Similar to a Reggie White situation?
Yeah, that's the kind of skill this guy has. He's a big man. He said he's 310 pounds. He moves like a much smaller guy. You just got to put him in a position to do more things, I think.
Third down and 1, actually less than a yard. Movement in the line, penalty marker down. If it's against the Rams, it'll be declined because Natron Means, with the power, picked up the first down.
Yeah, I'd take it because you're going to get another 4 yards on top of it because I think Jimmy Jones blew the count.
Offside, defensive nose guard. 5 yards.
You're right. 5 is better than 1.
Oh, yeah.
I figured that out.
And that last math I checked. Watch Jones right up here. 98. See, he jumps the count into Jonathan. Actually, a good job by Jonathan of catching him. And then look at that. Nice stop in the hole by Shane Conlon. That Conlon, he's a tough guy.
He drove Conlon back a couple of yards. So now a first down on the 11-yard line. Chargers could get a first down without scoring. Throws it away. He knew he did not have a receiver, and the pressure was coming down hard.
I think there was miscommunication here because I think Humphrey was looking for the corner, and instead he got a slant. And I think the slant was open, to be honest with you. But when he saw it wasn't there, he just threw it away.
Dan Humphreys coming in with the elbow brace, arthroscopic surgery, and today he has hurt his right hand as well. He's had all kinds of injuries this year. Sprained knee, bruised ankle, bruised hip. Hangs in there, second down and 10. Give the ball to Means, but the Rams snuff him. And that will bring up third down. Jimmy Jones was the man in the picture.
That Conlon, he keeps on showing up. Anything that's run inside, Shane Conlon will be around. I think he's one of those guys who's a good reader, and he's real efficient.
You saw Ronnie Harmon come into the game. One of the big problems for the Chargers has been the fact that they could not get him the ball. He's been double teamed. 3rd down and 9 coming up on the 10. Harmon is in motion. Humphrey looking his way. Throwing. Touchdown, Ronnie Harmon.
What a catch.
Ronnie Harmon has come back to the Chargers offense today. And San Diego has taken its first lead.
The first thing they do is they go in motion, and it'll leave no backs in the backfield, takes away the run threat. And now he's just going to run the corner. Remember, earlier in the game, he ran this same route. Humphreys just put the air under it. And this time, it's right where it has to be. There may have been a pick down there. I saw somebody flash. I'd like to see if they got away with something.
Harmon beat Anthony Newman in the corner. He has caught 4 passes, 32 yards, and a touchdown. And John Carney on to kick the extra point. The kick is good. And for the first time today, the San Diego Chargers at 8-3 have taken the lead on this touchdown catch. It's 21-14.
Scary how clear it is. It's only a movie, except on a Sony big screen TV.
Oh, good. Something romantic.
Give me 2 59-cent tacos.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We don't have any.
This is Taco Bell, right?
Correcto.
What happened to your 59-cent tacos?
They're 45 cents.
For a limited time, Taco Bell's original 59-cent tacos are now 45 cents. Hurry in for the same great taste as seasoned beef, crisp lettuce, and real cheddar cheese in a crunchy corn shell for just 45 cents.
And your change?
All right. All kinds of change.
Change is good.
Change is good.
This time of year, the weather can be unpredictable. Isn't it good to know you can turn to a meteorologist with 15 years experience? Jack Church on 12 News.
Chargers lead for the first time today, 21-14, 6:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter. A 10-play scoring drive capped by Harmon's great catch of a Stan Humphreys toss. 21-14 the score. So Humphreys, banged and bruised, has brought the Chargers back. Carney kicking off. And it's going to be David Lang, who's had a good day returning kickoffs. But not that time, and it's the Sheriff, Stanley Richard, who makes the big tackle after a return of 19. We'll take a break. 6:10 to go in the 3rd.
Chrysler Cirrus has an advanced 24-valve V6. Its cab-forward design conveniently provides room for 5 and a vast array of new technology. It has dual airbags and advanced rail-through construction for superior handling and quietness. Chrysler Cirrus. While its name is derived from the heavens, one of the best reasons to own one is very down-to-earth. Chrysler Cirrus. It's not just a step above, it's the new plateau.
Should a man be judged by what he wears? Are you really any less of a man because you don't wear the right shirt or pants? Should you have to wear a shirt or pants at all? Ask yourself, hasn't our society advanced to the point where a man can feel comfortable in a dress? Probably not. Always appropriate, 100% cotton shirts and pants guys can feel comfortable in. Hager, stuff you can wear.
The client everybody's after wants to meet us for dinner. Can you be ready in 10 minutes?
Think fast. Think the compact Norelco Speed Racer. Why show up at a 7 p.m. meeting with a 7 a.m. shave? The Norelco Speed Racer. Close and comfortable to go.
When you're the eyes and ears of a million people, you can't let your stomach get in the way. So I carry Snickers.
Roasted peanuts, milk chocolate, caramel. Snickers satisfies.
School bus safety starts before the bus ever stops. So be cool. Follow the rules.
I watched Ronnie Harmon. I said there was a pick. You know what it is? It's Ronnie Harmon knowing how to run patterns, because he sees this and he's going to run them right into him. See that? That you cannot teach. That's instinct. That's Ronnie Harmon's 6 points. That's all him.
First down on the 26 for the Rams, who trail by 7. Jerome Bettis, he has not had a big day as he breaks a tackle, and it takes 5 Chargers to bring him down.
He's the man, I'll tell you that. That was all Bettis. I mean, he only picks up 4 yards, but it's all him.
Upstairs, the owner of the Chargers, Alex Spanos on the left, and Bobby Beathard, the architect of this San Diego team.
Yeah, there's that Cal Poly guy, one of the good minds in the National Football League. Really big on personnel. He loves, this is a chess game to him, and I think one that he's winning.
Rayleigh Johnson is in for Leslie O'Neal up front for San Diego. Second down and 3. Miller trying to bring the Rams back, completes the pass to Griffith. So Howard Griffith on the receiving end, run out of bounds by David Griggs after a gain of 9.
Forced out of bounds by David Griggs.
You know, with all the lack of running that's going on with the Rams, a good job of the defensive line. This guy here, Junior Seau's, had a quiet day. And they really haven't tested him. He's been dropped in a lot of zones. They haven't really been blitzing him. And I think just by formation, they've taken him out of the game.
First and 10 on the 43 of the Rams. Plenty of time, and there's Howard Griffith again. Same play.
What a play by Mims. Darian Gordon made the tackle there, but boy, Mims came blowing up the field on Gandy, number 70. Watch him, he's going to come up, and he's going to put that spin right back inside, just like Dipsy Doodle. Watch this, right here. Look at that. Throws that elbow to get to the top shoulder. Boy, that's a thing of beauty.
Mims has one of the 3 sacks today. Chris Mims, 6'5", 290 pounds. This is a big line for the Chargers on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, they move well. This team moves well up front for the big guy.
O'Neal back in there, number 91 at the top. Second down and 5. On the draw play, here's Jerome Bettis. He's getting on track, and Bettis knocking into his own man, gets the first down and drives to the Charger 40 in a gain of 12. Lonnie Young, unfortunately for him, had to be in there.
Yeah, but credit Lonnie Young for throwing himself in there. Look at this, 250 pounds coming rumbling through the hole. And this guy he's fast. He can move. And then watch him lower his shoulder right at the end. That's a big man. See the difference with Bettis. Remember earlier, middle of the season, he was getting beat up a little bit. So he only those real long pads down the middle of his back.
First and 10 on the 40-yard line. Here's a fake. Miller with time, and there's Howard Griffith out of the backfield, and he was dragging David Griggs downfield, and a gain of 11 and another first down. Howard Griffith playing a big role as the Rams trying to come back here in the third quarter.
Nice job by Chris Miller of being patient, staying with the game plan, again, going with the play action, trying to suck those backers in, and then getting Griffiths out in the flat. But nice patience.
Miller has completed 8 of his last 9 passes, and good mixing of plays by Chuck Knox and company. There's our Fox audio down on the field, the best in the business. You won't hear any better. First down on the 29. Pressure on Miller. This time Griffith can't hold on, but he was faced with Darian Gordon bearing down on him. And it'll be third down.
And a nice mixture on the other side of the Chargers by Bill Arnsparger in his zone coverage. He's mixing zone and man, but most of the time today, they've been a lot of zone.
There's that vaunted defense, and it has been that way. Bill Arnsparger the defensive coordinator. The Chargers, even though they have lost 3 out of 5, have not given up all that many points in the last 5 games. It is 2nd down and 10. Chris Miller for the pass, and it's caught by young Isaac Bruce, and the rookie has a first down inside the 20-yard line. Darian Gordon defending. Miller very calm and taking his time, patient here with plenty of time remaining. With his team trailing by 7. Rams led 14-6 at halftime. Those are Chris Miller's numbers.
The other thing that Miller's doing right now is he's reading that coverage very well. And he's going to the weakness of the coverage in those zones away from where they're rolling.
Bruce and Flipper Anderson are the 2 wide receivers for the Rams. And the pass out to Griffith. He is upended. And it was Dwayne Harper who made the first play and a gain of 3 yards. Howard Griffith all of a sudden.
Yeah, I like that kid. I like this kid Griffith. I think he's one of those guys who shows up. You know, he's got the quick feet. He'll catch the ball well. You ask him to block. He's got a big heart. He'll go throw himself in there. You see this right here, these catches, 5 of them all in the second half.
And 4 in this drive alone. 2nd down and 7. This time Griffith will carry the ball, and Griffith gets inside the Charger 10. With 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, Reuben Davis making the play.
Yeah, and then see, the other thing that they have in a backfield like this with Griffiths carrying the ball is that Jerome Bettis isn't afraid to block. I mean, that time he just went flying out there and hit Griggs, the linebacker. And he's a man now. He'll come out and whack you. That's a big body and a tough guy.
Jackie Slater has gone into the game on the offensive line.
See if they don't run right behind that big man.
255th game, tying Earl Morrall for the 4th all-time in the NFL history. And the Rams are going to use their first timeout of the second half. 3rd down and 1 coming up, and Miller will talk it over.
If someone said they wanted a car that was as quiet as a Mercedes, yet as practical as an Accord, that handled as well as a BMW, but was as economical as a Nissan Altima, and that somebody said they wanted all of this in one car, you'd say they had their head in the clouds. And you'd be right. This Cirrus, Chrysler's newest cab-forward car. It's not just a step above. It's the new plateau.
Now, the 5 greatest football players ever. Some strange plays affected the list this week. Leading off, Robert Bailey for outthinking everybody. Number 4, same play. Number 3, Garo Yepremian. He heard the footsteps. Number 2, Garo in slow-mo. But the man who looks good at any speed is you-know-who, Al Del Greco. This is the Hat. See you next week.
This man plays for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His name is Hardy Nickerson, but he often goes by the name the Dragon or El Dragon. He is very dangerous and often angry.
Act casual.
Fox NFL Sundays, brought to you by Chrysler Cirrus. It's not just a step above. It's the new plateau.
Here's Jackie Slater manning the right side, and the Rams with 2 tight ends. Ron Middleton has joined Troy Drayton. 3rd down and 1 on the 8-yard line. On a bootleg, being chased by Mims. Miller's throw intercepted by Darian Gordon. Second Second interception of the game for Gordon. Stuffs out the Rams threat.
They're going to catch Jerome Bettis. First thing you get is Mims. He doesn't bite, and he forces him a little bit deeper, and then it's a scramble in the back of the end zone. Miller takes a chance, trying to get the ball to Flipper Anderson, who's been quiet all day, really one catch. But watch Gordon stay with him. And then the nice interception, and he brings it back out.
Jackie Slater got hurt on this play. Took a shot from Mims right in the midsection.
Watch Mims, and he forces him deep. And then he tries to get this one in. Just tries to get it over Gordon. But Gordon gets it.
Gordon's had 2 interceptions against the Patriots last week. This is his first today. And you remember he returned a punt 75 yards for a touchdown. So he has been a hero for the Chargers, who lead the game and have the ball.
And then they got a roughness penalty on Bettis, and that moved it out more.
On the 29-yard line with less than a half a minute remaining. Natron Means goes around Pfeiffer, who knocks the ball out of bounds, stopping the clock with 22 seconds after a 5-yard pickup. So Gordon with his 4th interception, 3 in the last 2 games.
Say hello to everybody down there in Texas.
Well, Stanley Richard is not the only defensive back from Texas on this Charger team, apparently.
Dang, Gordon turning an outstanding day today.
That'll be the last play, as you see Miller with 3 sacks, been knocked down 5 times. He too has been under pressure. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The Chargers 21, the Rams 14. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station.
Steal your remote. Just watch Fox.
This weekend, Ford presents something so shocking, so outrageous, you thought you'd have to wait a whole year to see it. It's the Ford 95-hour sneak preview. 95 action-packed hours to get a new 95 at 2.9 APR for 4 years. An end-of-the-year clearance on next year's cars. Only the leader could have the confidence to clear out the 95s before the year begins. 2.9 on a new 95. It's the Ford sneak preview. It's this weekend.
This holiday season, get a new AT&T portable phone from Cellular One for just $99.
It's only $99, and that's not much to pay.
Plus, get your first month service absolutely free on selected plans. And we'll even waive the activation fee.
Now this is a really great deal. Yes, this is a really great deal.
A new $99 phone from Cellular One. The perfect holiday gift.
This Thanksgiving weekend, head straight to your Lincoln Mercury dealer for a special limited time offer. 2.9% financing for up to 48 months on a huge selection of cars. But for 4 days only, get 2.9% financing on the affordable, exceptionally well-equipped Mercury Tracer, the popular Mercury Sable, even the rear-wheel drive V8-powered Mercury Grand Marquis. 2.9% financing from Lincoln Mercury. Don't miss it. Ends November 28th. See your local Lincoln Mercury dealer.
The Crusaders, Sunday at 4 on KCOI Channel 12.
Join Heather Locklear and Dennis Miller for the biggest event of the year, the 1994 Billboard Music Awards live. See the hottest names in rock, pop, country, and rap, all in one stage for one explosive night. The Billboard Music Awards live, Wednesday at 8, 7 Central on Fox. Start of the 4th quarter. Natron Means carrying the ball, and to no avail. Roman Pfeiffer making the stop. Here is Jackie Slater, who suffered bruised ribs on this play.
Well, you know, he's been playing a long time, 19 years, and that's not the first time that happened. But when you're 40 years old, it hurts just a little bit more than it did when you were 21. That's what I mentioned earlier. That's one of the great ones right there. I've never seen an offensive lineman with such a great mean streak as Jackie Slater played with.
Hall of Famer, I would think.
He's right there.
3rd down and 5. Stan Humphries with time, steps up, completes his pass to Mark Say. Say in a foot race gets inside the Ram 40. Keith Lyle knocked him down. 27 yards that time for the Chargers.
Yeah, the whole key for Stan Humphrey's throw right there was that offensive line. Again, give them a good job of being able to step up and throw the ball and find that receiver. Now watch, he's doing right. Look at the passing lane right here. Look at it. Look at all that right there to throw the ball. And then Say just sits down in the zone.
That team is playing hurt up front, and they've come up. They struggled early, but they're playing better now. First down on the 39. With the carry is Eric Bieniemy. And right now for a McDonald's game break. Let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio. JB?
Yeah, good-looking run by Say and Bieniemy. But take a look at Buddy's defense. Keith McCants knocks Steve Walsh's pass in the air. Guess what? Takes it 45 yards. Nifty-looking moves all the way to the end zone. The Cardinals are now within 3 of the Bears. Less than 7 remaining in the game. Back to San Diego. Dick Stockton, Matt Miller.
You like the acquisition of McCants by the Cardinals.
Yeah, and I think he's helped them. It makes plays like that. You don't teach that stuff.
Second down and 4. Means up the middle. Breaks a couple. First down. Tron Means. And it took Roman Pfeiffer, but not before Means gained 11 yards.
Nice job by Jonathan, the guard, and big Stan Brock, the tackle, along with Hall. Watch them inside. They get the big bodies on. They just get the push right in here. Watch Jonathan right there. Boom. And then Stan Brock. And all they do, see this? They just allow Means one little seam, and he gets that big body right through it. Courtney Hall, the block on Shane Conley.
Means has gained 100 or more yards 6 times this year. He has 83 yards now. First down on the 22. Means driving and just gets inside the 20 for a pickup of 3. Dick Stockton and Matt Millen here at Jack Murphy Stadium. The Chargers at 8-3, trying to improve their record and remain with the best record, along with possibly Cleveland and Pittsburgh in the AFC.
Well, Means looks like he's holding that shoulder a little bit. Bieniemy is in for him. And this is a nice little changeup. And I know Means would like to be in there. But this guy here, he's got some quicks.
Second down and 7. Out of the I formation. Here's Bieniemy, and he's trapped behind the line of scrimmage. And Jimmy Jones with a good play, penetrating, and a loss of 3.
Well, you said it right. He worked right inside of Jonathan. And he made the play, gets into the backfield. Anytime you can get a guy working up the field, it messes everything up. And I like defenses that are based on penetration. That time Jones just takes the inside shoulder and makes a big play. Because even when you get penetration up the middle of the offense, if you don't make the play, you mess everything up.
Third and 11. Chargers are in field goal range. Designed rollout and a pass to the other side to Ronnie Harmon. And Marquez Pope brings him down short of the first down by about 4 yards. And the field goal is coming up.
Well, that's a good job by this Charger offense of coming up with different ways to use Harmon. See, he fakes the block up top, and then he goes out on that short screen. He doesn't get the first down. The defense wins this one. But I think a nice changeup in the way the Chargers are trying to get Harmon the football.
Gilbert will hold, and Carney, who's 2 for 2 today, including a 48-yarder, has really boomed the kicks today. 32-yard attempt coming up. And let's see if there was movement on the right side of the line, whether it was Brock or the Rams went over Bailey.
That's going to be a first down.
Start prior to the snap. 93 offense.
So 5 yards back. And
Reuben Davis.
So a 37-yard attempt coming up now for Carney. The way he's been kicking today, it shouldn't bother him.
They can knock it back to the 50. He's going to hit it through.
Hand came up.
Yeah, you can see him right in there.
So again, the try from 37. Kick is on the mark and good. John Carney.
He's killing it today.
29 for 32 on the year. 3 for 3 today. And the Chargers have added to their lead. It's now 24-14, San Diego.
Only one combines power and effortless performance like Fred Couples. Only one blends pinpoint control and the ability to read the terrain like Lee Trevino. Only one personifies endurance like Arnold Palmer. Only one can play like this. Seville STS with the North Star system. The great performers are always creating a higher standard.
It's time for the McDonald's Holiday Film Fest, featuring great movies like Field of Dreams, If You Build It, Back to the Future, This Is It, The Land Before Time, and 5 Goes West, each just $5.99 with the purchase of any large sandwich or extra value meal. And each video includes a mail-in rebate offer for Jurassic Park, available at video outlets nationwide. So enjoy this special time of goodwill toward men and cats.
Listen, this stuff that we make, it's powerful. It makes you powerful. Take it, listen, gather up your ideas, run with them. Just do something amazing. We're in your corner, and we can't wait to see what you're going to do. Listen, listen, listen.
Fox NFL Sundays brought to you by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealer, creating a higher standard. By Braun Flavor Select Coffee Makers. Braun, for great tasting coffee just the way you like it. By the U.S. Army. Learn how to get an edge on life. Be all you can be. And by Wendy's. After 25 years, quality's still our recipe.
Chargers used up 5.5 minutes on that possession with Carney kicking his third field goal of the game, and it's 24-14. There's Lang and Kitchen back. And it's going to be Lang at the 12-yard line. He's had a big day, and another good return by Lang, and he is hit hard out of bounds. Andre Coleman and the Sheriff, 28-yard return by Lang.
He has no clients. No conferences. No appointments. No schedules. For contemporary man, that kind of freedom is found in a different form. El Dorado. With the North Star system by Cadillac.
I can get our entire winter catalog out to 2,000 bookstores just like that.
I'm editing Blood of the Pharaoh. This is from the University of Cairo.
Cool. We're going to make some changes. Not in our ideals, but in the tools that we use.
The first total package of online video conferencing and messaging services for American business is now available for your business. Call now and experience the 21st century at a special introductory rate.
Alcohol and other drugs don't discriminate. They're equal opportunity destroyers.
It's been a relatively quiet day, only 3 tackles for Junior Seau. And I think there's a couple reasons. First of all, the Rams have only run the ball 12 times. So that kind of takes them out of the run game. And then in the pass game, they've really been playing lots of zone coverage today. Haven't been blitzing them and sending them. So that keeps them dropped back and takes them out again.
Can't run the ball too much more now either. Trailing by 10. First down on the 40. And a play fake on first down. Miller's pass. And it's trapped. Incomplete. Jesse Hester, the intended receiver, and Darian Gordon defending on the play. Rams have turned it over 3 times today. Chargers once, but the Rams scored on that one. Miller, 208 yards and 2 touchdowns. Gordon with an interception and a 75-yard punt return for a touchdown. And that was the big play that got the Chargers started in the second half.
Yeah, and that's what really changed momentum and got the emotion flowing for this team.
Second down and 10. Swings it out to Jerome Bettis, something the Rams have been trying to do to get the ball to Bettis as a receiver, and he picks up a couple.
You know, there's a lot of guys that they want to try to get the ball to, and one guy, another really quiet today, has been Flipper Anderson. Watch, now he's going to be open in his zone. He sits down inside, but they just throw the ball back outside to Bettis. And this is a big play guy. Flipper Anderson is a big play man, especially down the field. Look at this, only 1 catch today.
They may have to look for him now with 9:15 remaining. Third down and 7. And a rollout, big pressure, and throwing the ball away. And it was Chris Mims who broke that whole idea up. Tough day for Gandy, the rookie tackle.
Well, they were going to go with that screen away, and it was perfectly set up. Except that Mims just comes right back and works off the block right there and forces the ball to be thrown early because on the other side, they had a nice screenplay set up. Nice play by Mims.
Sean Landeta will kick it away. Darian Gordon, who has returned 175 yards for a score. Chargers lead 24-14, looking to extend their record to 9-3 on the year. And a booming kick by Landeta will send Gordon back inside his 10. Nice bit of running. And he brings it out to the 23-yard line. That was a 50-yard kick by Sean Landeta.
Actually, I prefer my coffee smooth.
I like it more robust.
Whereas I like it mellow.
More full-bodied for me, please.
Braun has designed the Flavor Select, using a revolutionary brewing system that extracts the finest flavor from coffee and allows you to vary the taste from mild to more robust. The Braun Flavor Select, for great-tasting coffee, just the way you like it.
The man, John Madden. Need I say more? Okay, I will. Football. He studies it, analyzes it, puts it in his game. Tough, real tough. Full rosters. The all-Madden team. Need I say more? Okay, I will. Stats season long. In his head, in his voice, in his game. What do you want? Real players? You got it. High stats? You got it. Windowless passing? You got it. Madden, he's the man. You think John's got a big head about all this? Give me a break. The guy rides a bus to work. Madden NFL 95. The game. EA Sports. It's in the game.
Oh, this is South Dakota. We found out Tony was pregnant in late April. Of course, the babies were born 8 weeks premature. It was hard on both of us. Tony found out about Aflac from some friends of ours. Aflac took care of virtually everything.
Aflac covers the unexpected costs of getting better, so you can get on with life.
Babies' names are Tyler and Taylor, and they're about as healthy as you can get.
School bus safety starts before the bus ever stops. So be cool. Follow the rules.
In their last 4 possessions, the Chargers have 3 field goals and a touchdown. But look at the number of plays. They've used up a lot of time in the process.
Yeah, and look at the results after those plays. And I think all that can be traced back to Darian Gordon and given this team the emotional lift that it's been needing.
Chargers on the 23, first down out of the I formation. Natron Means breaks out of the pack, flag is down, and Means is hit at the 28 by Joe Kelly.
And there's a flag right in the middle of that whole thing, which usually means holding.
5-yard gain that time. And it's against the Chargers. Want to remind you, at the end of this game, Matt and I will select the Miller Lite Player of the Game.
You know what impressed me most about Bobby Ross?
Holding, number 84, offense.
Aaron Lang, the tight
10
end.
yards, first down.
Yeah, I think Bobby Ross is a pretty straight shooter. I think he's one of those coaches that it's easy to respect because he's honest with you. He doesn't paint a rosy picture. He never paints it glum. He just paints a very realistic picture, and it's easy to follow people like that.
He was sincere when he said, when we were 6-0, I said, at least worst we could be is 6-10.
Yeah, and I think he's one of those guys that makes everything believable for the team.
First down and 20, back at the 13. Humphries going up top. Throws it up for grabs to Say, and the pass is short. Henley, one of the defenders, downfield.
Well, he had to put some air in that thing because Joe Kelly and Shane Conlon came on that blitz. And feeling the pressure, he just aired it up outside. Remember, this Ram defense, they've been throwing a lot of different blitzes. They're going to go with this, a strong cross is what this is called, from the backer position. Conlon gets up in the air and forces Humphries to throw the ball up high.
Conlon having another fine game. Second down and 20. Humphrey gets out of trouble and completes the pass. That's Jefferson, John Jefferson, who gets hit. Humphrey did a good job of scrambling out of that one and a gain of 12 yards. Conlon again.
What great hustle by Shane Conlon. Now he's going to go with the blitz, and then he ends up all the way back to the other side on just pure hustle.
Jefferson now with 3 catches for 39 yards. So we saw Conlon getting in on the quarterback on one play and then covering downfield on the next. Third down and 8. 7:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. Here comes Pope on a blitz. Deep pass, incomplete. They were going for Jefferson, but the pass was thrown too long.
Marquez Pope come out of the secondary, and the guy who picked him up is the guy they try to get open all the time. But this time a nice read by Harmon. Sees him back inside and just gets enough of a bump to allow Humphries to throw that ball.
Well, the penalty hurt the Chargers on that possession, and the Rams defense played it well and forcing Brian Wagner to kick. He has punted 5 times today, and Kitchen 9-yard return on his first punt return. Lang has been doing most of it on the kickoffs. Great kick. Beautiful kick by Wagner. Will send Kitchen back to his 20 and then throws across the field to Todd Light. And Light has some running room. Flag is down.
Yeah, that's coming back.
Light still on his feet and ridden out of bounds. But there's a penalty marker down, and that may bring it back.
Yeah, and that's Lang. What they had was Lang was trying to get a block, and what he did was he held on to the guy, and he just kept on holding.
Wayne Sevier knew it.
Yeah, that's a severe look from Wayne Sevier. Is that a picture of disgust right there or what?
Holding on the return, number 38. 10-yard penalty. It'll be first and 10.
Well, that would have been a good break for the Rams. Instead, they're going to have to start from in their own territory. Timeout here at Jack Murphy Stadium.
It's Wendy's Fresh Look at the Rule Book with Terry Bradshaw.
Hey, you guys get those valuable giveaways?
Terry!
Nothing too good for my guys.
Terry!
Well, new this year, when a kick from scrimmage is first touched beyond the line of scrimmage by the receivers and the kickers recover in the receiver's end zone, it's a touchdown. Bada bing, bada boom.
Stay tuned for more of Wendy's Fresh Look at the Rule Book.
Happy holidays, Dave.
Thank you.
There sure is a lot to do during the holidays. In fact, if you're not careful,
Dave?
You could really work up an appetite.
Boy, I'm hungry.
Luckily, Wendy's has a Big Bacon Classic Combo. A quarter-pound of fresh beef, 3 strips of bacon cheese, lots of toppings, biggie fries, and a 20-ounce drink. A delicious meal.
Like the tree.
Here goes. I love the holidays.
Try Wendy's Big Bacon Classic Combo.
How much closer do our precision heads help shave beneath the skin? How much closer does our innovative groove make Norelco's lift and cut system? How much better is the latest Norelco razor? We think you'll find it's never brought you closer. The Norelco razor, our closest shave ever.
While the Chargers had scored on their 4 possessions, second half the Rams have come up empty, including an interception on what was their most impressive drive. 10 plays, 67 yards, and Gordon with the pick.
And so what do you have to do if you're the Rams right now? Look, you need 2 scores. So you got to get back in it. I think you go right now a little bit to that misdirection again, start trying to use the speed of the Chargers to go against them, and then you got to get the ball into your big play people, and that means Flipper Anderson.
He's caught only 1 pass today. 1st and 10 on the 38. Miller out of the backfield line puts on a good move. Kind of froze the defender, Matt, and then made his move, gets to midfield. Dennis Gibson brings him down and a gain of 12.
Well, a nice job at the end there by Troy Drayton. 2 guys in the same spot, so something was wrong with a little bit of a mix-up. But then watch Troy Drayton, and then watch Lang cut back up underneath. So he makes Seau miss. And then this guy's pretty good with the ball in his hands.
I guess.
Makes Gordon makes him miss. It's just when he doesn't have his ball in his hands that he ends up getting the hold there.
First down in midfield. Miller going deep, and he's got Hester, but he overthrows him, and covering was Dwayne Harper.
And Harper was right there. In fact, Jesse Hester, he's arguing with the official right there, saying that Harper got in his way, didn't allow him to get downfield.
Arizona Cardinals have come back to tie the Bears with 36 seconds left, 16-16. Tell you what, if the Cardinals wind up winning that game, that really throws the NFC into a big grab bag, with a lot of the contenders like Philadelphia and Minnesota losing today. Atlanta winning. 2nd and 10 at midfield. Miller fires low, and it's caught into Charger territory by Jesse Hester. And a gain of 4 yards. Miller today, 19 of 32, 227 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Third down and 6. Miller downfield. He's got Todd Kinchin. Kinchin still on his feet, is hit, and a first down, and a gain of 17 yards with the rookie Willie Clark from Notre Dame making the stop.
Boy, and at the end of that, Flipper Anderson came back and just drilled somebody. Watch Kinchin work up the field again in the zone, and then he comes back inside. And this kid, when he gets he just has a knack of making something happen. Watch this right at the end. Harper, boom, right there. Flipper Anderson, that's a 2-for-1 right there. He got the Sheriff, Richards, and he also got Harper.
He shot the Sheriff?
He shot the Sheriff, but he didn't get the deputy. It's amazing.
Always happens that way. First down on the 29-yard line. Big third down play that time, and the pass to Bettis is dropped. Junior Seau greeted Bettis up the middle. That was a first down, so the big third down pass by Miller. As Matt mentioned, the Rams need 2 scores to win this one, and they have 4:55 remaining.
Well, and now you're down under 5 minutes, so this has to be 4-down territory right here. You got 2 scores, so maybe you take the field goal and hope you get it back again.
Chargers have lost 3 out of their last 5. Rams have lost 2 in a row. 2 hungry teams trying to turn it around. 2nd down and 10. On the draw play, Bettis nowhere to go. Bounces off a defender. Great bit of running and a first down for Bettis inside the 20. Gibson on the stop. That was the best run of the day by either team.
Watch the feet of Jerome Bettis. I mean, he gets stuffed right at the hole, right here. See it, boom, runs right into the back of Newberry. And then with the spin, look at the feet when he gets in the open field. That's so impressive. Makes a guy miss Lonnie Young and picks up a huge first down.
Jerome Bettis, 38 yards on 10 carries. That's almost as much as he's rushed for in the previous 2 games. And we have a official's timeout. Bob McElwee going over to confer.
Please reset the stadium clock to 4:21.
So they've got to add 10 seconds to the clock. Crowd, of course, doesn't want to see any time added to the clock with their Chargers leading by 10. Chargers have had several weeks going east. They are a tired team coming into practice this week after 3 trips to the East Coast. First down on the 19. Miller swings it out to Howard Griffith. Griffith has been a weapon in the second half for the Rams. Griggs defending and a gain of 3.
You know, and down the stretch right now, I think the rookie Wayne Gandy is doing a pretty good job on Mims. And Mims got some pressure early. But Gandy, with using those long arms, and he's gotten better all year long. I think, like I mentioned earlier, this is a guy who's going to work on his strength. He needs to get stronger, more powerful. But in terms of feet and technique, I think he's doing a pretty good job.
Bears and Cardinals in overtime, and I think the Cardinals have won twice in overtime this year. 2nd and 7. Pressure on Miller, going up top. Bruce. Isaac Bruce, and the pass was too far for him. Try to keep the feet in bounds. Darian Gordon defending downfield, and that will bring up 3rd down.
But a nice job of the offensive line giving Miller some time to throw. Sets his feet and throws. Again, Gandy doing a good job outside on Mims, getting those big long arms on him.
Another big 3rd down play for Miller. Miller trying to get away. Fires it out of bounds. And it'll be 4th down. Intended for Flipper Anderson, and O'Neal coming after him from the blind side.
Yeah, O'Neal makes the play right here. Going to force him out. Running to his left. Watch 91 work on Jones. Works back underneath and flushes him out of the pocket. And now you have the quarterback, a right-handed quarterback, running to his left, and that's a tough throw to make.
They're going to go for the 3 points here, unless there is a fake. Zendejas, 15 of 17 this year. This is a 33-yard attempt. Tommy Maddox, the holder. Zendejas with the kick, good. And 33-yard field goal, and the first field goal of the game for the Rams. 3:48 remaining, and the score now is 24-17 in favor of the San Diego Chargers. Well, Al Bundy is starting a baseball league of his own, and tonight some of baseball's biggest stars are dropping by to give Al a run for his money. Don't miss a grand slam Married with Children tonight at 9, 8 Central, right after a full hour of The Simpsons.
Score, Denver 15, Cincinnati 13.
The Rams have 2 timeouts remaining, and the Chargers have all 3 of theirs.
Seattle 7.
First points for the Rams, the field goal by Zendejas since the first half. (24-17) in favor of the Chargers. Pittsburgh Steelers leading 14-3. If they hold their lead, they will go 9-3, tied with Cleveland for first place in the AFC Central. So the Bobby Ross Chargers need to win to maintain a 9-3 record with the Browns and Steelers for the best in the AFC. Now it's 21-3 in favor of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I saw Hostetler was knocked out early in the game. Without Hostetler, I don't think they have a shot.
Kansas City holding on against Seattle. Close game at Mile High, and Cardinals won the toss, and they will get the ball first in overtime. Surprised Buddy Ryan didn't want to go on defense in overtime. Knowing how he feels about the O. Zendejas with the kickoff will send Andre Coleman back to the 6. Coleman brings it out beyond the 25. Toby Wright making the special teams tackle.
Tackle number 32, Tony Wright.
Got to separate some of the blue and gold from the blue and gold. Stan Humphries, 17 of 33. One touchdown, one interception. The touchdown pass was to Harmon to put the Chargers in front for the first time in the third quarter. And the pitch goes to Natron Means. Going right and outside and stopped by Marquez Pope, former Charger, having a big game today, gain of 6.
I think Marquez Pope plays pretty good all the time. I think he's one of those guys who you can always count on. And I think when you put together a team, you say, all right, which guy is always going to be there? Who's always going to make plays? I think Marquez Pope is one of them.
Rams are going to call the timeout to stop the clock with 3:31 remaining. It is their second timeout of the second half, leaving them with only one. Tell you, both of these quarterbacks deserve a world of credit, Matt. Both Humphries and Miller, who have, we talk about quarterbacks playing hurt, both of them have played big-time hurt this year and are really warriors in this game.
Yeah, I think they're tough guys. I mean, we've mentioned this before. I think of all the positions, when you look at them in the league, and there's a lot of tough people out there, quarterback, to me, has been one of those positions that really have some tough guys. I mean, they get beat up like you wouldn't believe. Humphries is a perfect example, and he just keeps on coming back.
Let's take a look while we have a moment at the NFC playoff picture. Division leaders are the Cowboys, the 49ers, and the Bears. And in the wild card race, Minnesota losing today, so did Philadelphia, lost their third in a row. Green Bay, Detroit, and Atlanta, and the Cardinals are all in contention. 2nd and 4 at the 32. Here's Means. And Natron Means picking up 3, and Newman coming up from the secondary.
They're going to take their last time out.
With 3:21 showing on the clock. Means is 5 yards away from his 7th 100-yard rushing game.
Well, this is the gamble right here that the Rams take. They set up 3rd and about 2.5. No timeouts. They have to stop them right here, get the ball back. Now you figure the clock's going to stop at least one more time with the 2-minute warning. But if they can get the ball back right here on downs, they're in pretty good shape.
So they're betting that they do that. Let's take a look now at the Chargers' remaining schedule. Raiders, that's going to be a big game a week from Monday. The 49ers here, then the Jets and the Steelers.
That's a tough schedule.
3 out of 4 are here. That's the good news. The bad news is that is a tough schedule.
Yeah, it really is. Look at the Raiders. The Jets are playing well. San Francisco. It doesn't get easy for Bobby Ross's team. But like we said earlier, they have the destiny in their own hands. I mean, all they have to do, they don't have to worry about anybody else. That's a good position to be in. You just go out and play each game, and you're all right.
Steelers headed for their 9th win. If the Chargers hold on, they win their 9th game of the year, and the Browns won their 9th today as well. 3rd down and 1. Big play for the Rams defense. And Means hit, and he did not make it. Natron Means is stopped on 3rd down. And the Rams' gamble of using their timeouts on the defensive side may have paid off, depending on what they do now.
Right in the middle of their defense. They just ran right at him.
They're going to measure.
They're going to be short.
They're short by maybe a little less than a yard, not more than that. 3:03 showing on the clock. And it's more than a yard that they're short, so the Chargers will have to kick.
Yeah, watch, they're going to run right in at Jones and Gilbert, and then here comes Shane Conlon, Joe Kelly back inside. I mean, that's just all team, that front 7. You know, watch Pope right here. Look at this. Boom! Look at that job of Means putting his head right into the shoulder of Pope. And then look, that's just good, solid defense. Everybody getting to the football.
Fourth down coming up, and now the Chargers have been huddling over at the sideline. Come onto the field. Brian Wagner will kick. Todd Kinchin will go back. So we'll see how Chris Miller and company does in the 2-minute offense. Remember, the Rams only need a field goal to tie the game. And the Chargers are going to call the timeout to talk over their plan on the kick. While we have a moment, we'd like to thank some people who do a great job every week in the very different areas of production that help bring this broadcast to you. In the graphics area, Mark Rita and Mike Kirby. Our truck supervisor is Milt Jackson. In video, Gary Graffio, David Hill, and Mark Backham. And our maintenance supervisor, Frank Harvey. They all do critical jobs to make this broadcast hopefully enjoyable for you, the viewer.
Here, I thought you were talking to me.
I'm saving it. I'm saving the best for last.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And hopefully that's what the Rams are hoping too, that they're saving their best. Nice transition. Huh?
Yeah.
They're trying to save their best for last right here.
Wagner to kick. Kinchin is back. 2:40 on the clock. Not a good kick. Bounces at the 30 and picked up by Todd Kinchin. Took a little gamble there with the defender right there, and a 40-yard kick. And the Rams will have a little better field position than they've had most of the day. With 2.5.
Yeah, you got 2.5 to go, and you got what, 73 yards to get to the end zone. You have to score 6 points.
You need the touchdown and an extra point to tie the game, and a 2-point conversion to win the game if they want to do that.
Yeah, I think they'd go for the tie.
Yeah.
You take your chances now that you've picked up the pace a little bit.
4 wide receivers, 6 defensive backs, starting from the 27. Miller with time, drills it. Hester
dropped it.
And that's only the second pass he has dropped all year. He was wide open.
Yeah, he read the zone perfect, went right back inside. Again, working that intermediate area. And that ball just too strong for his hands, goes right through it. That should have been a catch.
Again, I want to remind you, the Rams need a touchdown. I think earlier I said field goal. They're down by 7, 24-17, so they have to go the distance. 2nd down and 10. Miller swings it out to Johnny Bailey. Great tackle that time by Sean Van Horst, one of the nickelbacks.
And they're going to hurry up now. I want you to watch Chris Miller. You're going to see him lift his leg like what he's doing is for motion, but it's not. This is a snap-on timing with a loud crowd. 3rd down, and they're going to take 2 downs if they need it. Miller's pass is caught. And that's Chris Brantley with his first catch of the game, and he works his way for the 1st down. And the 2-minute warning is here. 2 minutes remaining, 7-point lead.
It began with a simple insight that chickens fed on the way to market arrived plump with profits. Then they introduced chicken in parts, which took them into supermarket and fast food chains across America. Today, Tyson Foods is much more than the world's largest poultry company. It is poised to be the main course wherever food is served. Where do you find companies so in touch with what investors hunger for? Actually, there's a list of them printed every day. NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years.
This time around, we'll dance. We'll dance down the rooftops. Dance up the thunder. And we'll ride the rhythm. Because everything's possible. This time around.
Oh, this guy amazing, chump, man. I can take this guy with one hand tied behind my back. Go for it.
Hurricane Hughes versus...
What's your name? Joe, but I'm still tricking you.
things with a great taste that's never watered down.
Yeah.
Miller Lite. Can your beer do this?
What kind of pressure will be on the Eagles against the high-flying Cowboys next week in the first half of our doubleheader, man?
Panic City in Philadelphia. It's no longer the city of brotherly love. It's the city of panic, and I think because their offensive line has really started to show the effects, and you're expecting Cunningham to do everything.
Yeah, we'll be there.
He needs help.
We'll be there to see it.
Yep.
Dallas, Philadelphia, first half of the doubleheader. The Falcons and the 49ers, two of the NFL's best. The Cowboys and the Niners on display next Sunday on Fox. 1st and 10 on the 39. Rams have no more timeouts. Miller out of the shotgun will be sacked. And a big one, Leslie O'Neal. Now with 11 on the year. Loss of 4 in the hurry-up. Rams have to get those receivers back to the line of scrimmage.
All right, stop the clock. Now they'll run Mims in. This is a good opportunity to make a substitution. Reuben Davis will come out and Mims will come in.
Miller has been under pressure. 4 sacks, 2.5 by Leslie O'Neal, and a lot of other pressures.
What's the explanation?
It's the clock they want to adjust.
It's a 1:40. They put 5 seconds on.
2nd down and 14. More pressure on Miller. And the pass to Hester didn't have control. Out of bounds, and he was hit in the air. And that'll bring up 3rd down. Harper was downfield covering, among others.
But Ray Lee Johnson, 99, and Mims up top, man, they just collapse everything. Look at Ray Lee Johnson blow through there. I mean, that was one of those meet me at the quarterback thing. And then the ball's in the air, and that would have been a tough catch, but it's one that could have been made.
In overtime, the Chicago Bears have defeated the Arizona Cardinals 19-6. Big win for the Bears.
Big win for Walsh.
At 8-4, now in first place in the NFC Central.
Who would have ever believed it?
By a game over Minnesota. 3rd and 14, the screen to Bailey. Johnny Bailey gets up to the 45, and it'll bring up 4th down, and the Rams will have to go for it. Les Miller on the stop. Clock is running towards a minute. 4th and 4. Can this keep it alive for the Rams? It's intercepted.
That's going to be 6 for Sean Van Horst.
Sean Van Horst will run it in for the touchdown.
Interception return by Sean Van Horst. He read that thing all the way.
That's his first NFL touchdown. 4th year out of Howard University in Washington. Jesse Hester was the intended receiver, and the Chargers have nailed this one down.
Yeah, that tapping you here right there, that's the nails in the coffin for the Rams.
Extra point, Carney is on. Holding is Gail Gilbert. And the Chargers lead 31-17.
Jesse Hester was the intended receiver. Now watch, Van Horst does an outstanding job of reading Miller the whole way. And he had a beat of that ball before anybody broke, he broke. And then 48 yards later, that's a pretty happy horse.
Big plays today, Matt, for the Chargers. A very happy horse indeed. Van Horst and Gordon with 2 interceptions. Here is Van Horst's and also Gordon's punt return, 75 yards for a score. So it was not the offense as much as the special teams and the defense that really made it happen today.
Yeah, and I think if you look back and you had to say what was the difference today for the San Diego Chargers, you have to say Darian Gordon. I think Gordon was the guy who provided the impetus for the team to really go on.
31-17 and 31 points, kind of what the Chargers were used to. Remember coming in, leading the AFC in scoring.
Yeah, but that's a little deceiving, as you and I just talked about. You know,
defensive doing.
Yeah, 14 of them teams. Yeah, were other than the offense. And you know, they got this cannon down here. that thing. My rookie year, that thing went off. I almost peed in my pants on the sideline. It was unbelievable. I didn't know what the heck it was.
And I understand that noise is so loud it even wakes that fella up down there and pulls the trigger on it. What happened when you heard the cannon? I didn't get that.
I'm embarrassed to talk about it. Don't tell anybody.
I won't. Rams picking it up. Doesn't go far. They ought to turn him into a running back. He's a defensive lineman. Right now, let's send you to Hollywood and James Brown. JB?
Hey, Dick, it was an overtime affair in Tempe, Arizona today, but Steve Walsh put his team in good field goal position, and Kevin Butler nailed it there with that 27-yarder. The Bears improved to 8-4 and sole possession of first place in the NFC Central. Back to Dick and Matt.
That was a big game today for the Bears, Matt. One-game lead over Minnesota.
Unbelievable. That's huge. Now, you still have Green Bay coming up, who throttled them on that Monday night game. But I think the one thing that stand out this year for sure is Dave Wanstead as the coach of the year. Man, it's not even close.
First down on the 45. Screen pass to Bailey. And Bailey will go out of bounds and stop the clock in Charger territory with this game without any timeouts for the Rams. Is all put away. And the Miller Lite player of the game is Darian Gordon. He intercepted a big pass to snuff out a Ram threat, and of course, as Matt has mentioned, the big 75-yard punt return preceded by the two-point conversion in the third quarter that really woke up the Chargers today. First down at the 40-yard line. Miller going deep. He's got Flipper Anderson, and broken up nicely by Dwayne Harper. That was superb defense down there.
You see Harper at the end was so happy, ran into the stands and started high-fiving people.
Right now, getting back to the Bears, they have the third best record in the NFC after the 49ers and the Cowboys.
Well, that's really amazing. I think one of the things that happens with the Bears is when you look at them on tapes and you get ready for them, you say, yeah, this is not that good of a football team. Because they don't really have any really outstanding players except for maybe Donnell Wolford. But they play extremely well as a team.
Second down and 10. 26 seconds to go. Again, Bailey downfield. Johnny Bailey will go out of bounds. Another first down, stopping the clock with 20 seconds. Stanley Richard making the play.
Out of bounds at the 25.
Stanley Richard from Hawkins, Texas.
Gain of 15.
And we had a chance to talk to him yesterday. And in the month of February, we know about President's Day. We know about Valentine's Day. When Stanley Hawkins goes back to Hawkins, Texas, or Stanley Richard, it's Hawkins week.
I said, what do you do? He says, anything I want. They love me back there in Hawkins.
He gets a week, though, Matt.
Unbelievable.
First and 10. Miller, nobody there for the
Hawk. The sheriff intercepts.
Stanley Richard with another interception. That's going to run out the time, maybe. And the clock stops with 8 seconds to go. What a celebration for the Rams, for the Chargers. Three interceptions today by the San Diego defensive unit. Well, here are the holidays in February. Groundhog Day, we know February 2nd, that's one day. Valentine's Day, we know is one day. We know about President's Day one day, but for Stanley Richard, it's what?
It's Stanley Richard week.
What happens during that week?
He said he can do whatever he wants. He says he likes to go in and talk to kids in schools, and he'll go in and read to them and talk about drug stuff and all that. And the guy loves Hawkins, Texas, and they love him.
They give him a week. Chargers have won. The final score 31-17. Big win for San Diego. Matt and